Hello, welcome to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, joined by my two friends, Dan and Matt. We'll kick off, as we always do, with what we've been playing. I have mostly just devoted pretty much any of my game time to Death Stranding 2. When I looked at the percentage thing as far as the story, I am at 70% done with the story. So I'm at a part, though, where... I'm at a part that was all right, so the part I'm at in this game, you are climbing in the mountains, is not the most fun place to traverse to begin with in the game. And so the most recent mission I did, I traversed, you can either go through these snowy mountains, which is a pain in the ass, or you can go all the way around them, which also is a pain in the ass, and the reason for it is because it can be a Death Stranding area, would be the best way I can describe it. It's like, the black water will come up. Yeah, the goop. Okay, so it's like, what would you rather put up with, like climbing this absurd mountain or like go around? So yeah, I was like, I'll do the goop. And it got more ridiculous because I forgot, like, when you're doing these things initially and you're going to get to a location you haven't been to yet, it's not part of your network, which means you can't build anything. So I ran out of battery for my vehicle and then had to walk, and I have a power suit on, which is charged by battery, and that ran out of battery. So my last part of the journey to get to this location was me walking incredibly slowly up kind of a steep hill, but not like a mountain. And that I get all the way up to the top, and I was excited because I'm like, all right, I'm on these people's power grid. I'll deliver this order. They're going to have me connected. It'll be part of the network. And I give the guy the stuff. We put all in, and he goes, well, I can't connect you yet because you actually need to talk to my dad, who's not here. He's on this other side of this mountain, and I need you to go save him. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. So that's where I saved the game the other day, because I'm like, this is probably going to be like 2 hours of me going to save this dude. So I was like, I can't do this.
What were you delivering? Now. Was it a Fantastic Four branded Little Caesars pizza?
Oh, I wish it was. I do have the pizza chef in the game.
Of course.
So I have unlocked that character. I have not done his unique story, though.
Oh.
I've seen... There's a couple things that have been spoiled for that game for me, but nothing major. But one of the things that was spoiled for me was his cutscene. So, but nothing really major. I've gotten to the parts where I've gotten through now. I've met Higgs again. There's still not been an explanation for how that dude's alive, B, why he has a mask he can take off and he's wearing another mask, but then he can smile. There's so many weird elements. That song, and I know you've heard it before, but that lullaby they sing to BB. Okay. He will sing it every time he appears, but then he also pulls out that wild guitar weapon that you've seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
And he plays the melody of it on that guitar, in a rock fashion, to attack people. And it's fucking ridiculous. Because there's a whole fight sequence with him and the guitar and this other ninja samurai thing. So it's wild. I will say that the story also, I'm not going to spoil it, but it takes a real dark turn at a certain point. Because you're learning more in this one than the first one, the actual reason why they have these babies in these jar things.
Oh, okay.
And why that matters. And it gets very dark very fast. In a way that I was like, oh, okay. This is getting pretty dark.
Let me ask you a question about Death Stranding. If I wanted to, I've never played the first one either. If I wanted to play the first one,
okay,
how much of the goop stuff is there? Because I'm into the walking simulator aspect of the game and the delivering packages and stuff, but
there's a lot less of it in 2. there's a lot less of it, I feel like, in 2, but also, like, I played that game when it came out, and then I never played the director's cut thing that's out, and I never played it again. So, but I feel like there's less of that in this new one than there was in the original. But it never really, like, it could be annoying sometimes, but I never felt like it was such a hindrance that, like, it hurts the game. So they play with it, like, when it happens. I'll also say, like, this game, like, this one over the first one has, like, very exceptional boss battles, like, way better than the first game. Same with the gun, like, the gun controls and stuff are a lot better and more intuitive than the first game.
Okay.
But the goop stuff, yeah, like, it's there, but I never felt like, even in either game, I never felt like, oh man, like I said, I'll say it this way: I'd rather tackle the goop than walk up and down this giant fucking mountain. I'm like, I can't, because, like, the thing is, like, if I could set up zip lines, like, the only thing you can do is put up ladders. So either I'm going to take, like, 50 ladders with me, which my guy's not going to be able to climb the mountain then, or I just have to do it, and then once it's on the network, then I can set up zip lines, and then who cares? Because you can just zip everywhere. So I do like using the zip lines, because every time you use a zip line in this game, your buddy Dowlman just fucking goes nuts. He's just like, yeah! Like, he just gets really into it. That part's very good. That character's not in the first game.
No, I know that. Yeah.
He's very. Apparently, there's a story with him. I haven't gotten to it yet. That's like the thing I'm most excited to get to, is what his actual backstory is, because I know there's more to it. But I don't. I like, the thing is, I think for you would probably really get into the delivery part of that.
That's
game.
what I'm super interested in.
It's oddly very fun to do. So
I love that kind of shit.
Like, people make the mistake of calling it a walking simulator. It's a delivery simulator.
Yeah,
that's like what
I'm
it is.
super.
It's not really a walking simulator. So, but I will say, I think the map is easier to traverse in the first game too, because there's a lot more they can do with the PS5. So, than the PS4. Like I said, this is very much the first game, I think, this generation where I could tell you, like, this seems like it's really pushing some of the limits of the system. So
you're saying this generation's over already? Time to move on. We talk about
the PS6.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks I'll at least be done with the story, because I also do have Mafia I have installed, but I have not. I'm not gonna. I thought about it today. I was like, I could fire it up and play the opening mission, but I'd rather just finish Death Stranding first. So, and I'm not, like, it's the kind of game where, like, I'll finish the story and then I'll probably take a break from it and go back to, like, finish, like, extra deliveries and stuff and do that kind of stuff later. But because the story can be a lot, and I do know, because obviously friend has completed the game 100%, and I do know, like the first game, the ending cutscene's like 90 minutes. So got to get ready for that. So the only other thing that I've really played this last 2 weeks would be I talked to you about it. I did the Woot deal, and I got both, and I put them up here, both the Hyrule Warriors games for Switch, because I needed them. For whatever reason, these are like two of the few, like, Switch exclusive games that I just never got around to. So they finally had a deal. So I decided to crack open and start Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I did play this game originally when it was on the Wii U. I never finished it. I do remember it had had some frame rate issues, especially if you played co-op.
Yeah, co-op was awful.
Was really bad. I have not tried co-op in this version, but I'll say just a little bit I played it. It runs a lot more smooth. I am playing on a Switch too, so I don't know if it's like, it could be brute forced a little bit that way too. I don't know. But that's the only other thing I've really played. But I got, like, both of them came in the other day, and I was like, you know what? I keep kicking around, like, what Switch game to play. I'm just going to open this and play this. So,
yeah.
And I'm enjoying, I was in the mood for that type of game, but as I was telling you the other day, Matt, like, I like those types of games, but I like the offshoots. Like, I'm not really into the regular Dynasty Warriors. Like, I've played them, but they don't click for me as much as, like, Zelda or Dragon Quest or Gundam. So,
and I just think it's the
Persona
character
one
involvement, though.
There's a Persona one.
Persona Strikers is basically a Muso.
Oh, yeah. I have it. I didn't play that.
That's a great game.
Okay.
If you like Persona 5, like, the story of it is great, and it's just another Muso game. So it's good to
because
play.
it adds to the story. Like, it takes place after.
They go on like
right?
a road trip.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. I should play that. So I do have it.
Yeah, you should.
I also have Tactica as well.
That one I haven't touched yet. I need to do that.
I should. So, but that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully by the next time we record, I can talk about Mafia. So, but it literally just came out today. I think we talked about it. Like, I had PlayStation Stars points I needed to clean out.
Yeah.
So I had money I could use to put towards that anyways. And so I got it for a real good deal and bought it digitally because whatever. Right. So, but I will play that game. I look forward to it. So, what about you, Dan?
So I've just been playing a lot of like incredibly random stuff.
You have one thing on the list, and when we get to it, I'm going to ask you about it. Do you know what? I don't think you know what it's going to be. So,
I don't know.
I'm going to ask
we'll go down my list of stuff because there's a lot of different. I've talked about it before, but like there's a lot of like True Trophies things going on right now. There's like two things going on at the same time. So a friend of mine and I were both like trying to do these challenges, and I'm just trying to find like random stuff that qualifies for these things. Yeah. So I've been playing kind of a real like mixture of stuff. I mean, the only like main game I've made progress in terms of like games I'm playing to get through them are I've played more of that Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory game because I need to get that done by, I think October 3rd. And then Borderlands 3, we did finish the second DLC. So, I've only got, fucking 4 more of those to get through in a month. But we're at a point now where like we've level capped and like the weapons I have now are just fucking dumb to the point where it's like I can't get anything better, and what I have just kind of tears through anything we fight now. And when it's the 3 of us doing it, it's just like things just die so quick. So almost done with that, so I can progress onto that. So let's run down the list of just like random crap I've played to fulfill these challenges. So one of the challenges was you needed to play a game that had like the word harvesting, farming, things along those lines in the title. So since I have that premium thing, I just kind of went searching. And there's a game called Harvest Moon, I think Mad Dash or something.
What is it?
It's a real shit puzzle game.
So really? Okay.
At first I knew it was a puzzle game. I was hoping it would be like Match 3. Because at least the Match 3 game I can breeze through and play. It's a little different where like you're on a field and there'll be like a tomato plant and you have to pick it up and put it next to another tomato plant. And then you have to get another one and put it next. And once you get like 4, they grow and then you can harvest them. It's a shit show of a game because like the controls are bad. It's not hard by any means. There's like 100 levels and you just kind of have to play through them. But then like eventually it'll be like, now it's frozen, or there's an animal runs across the screen or whatever. So it's just really kind of like fucks you over constantly. It's not fun to play. The levels are either they feel too long, even though they're only like 2 minutes. But after a while, like if you know what you're doing, it's very easy to get a 3-star thing and just kind of wait for the timer to run out. But I just, I was doing it to get trophies because there's trophies for like do this or beat 10 levels, beat the next 10 levels. So I was able to get a whole bunch of stuff knocked out. I might finish it just because the points I would get for the trophies things for like finishing the game are worth it. And the game is not hard to play, but it sucks. Like it's just a bad game. Then because we needed some more trophies in that category, a friend of mine Eric, a friend of the show, he and I tried to play Farming Sim 22 together because they gave it away for free so long ago. That game sucks too. And I'm not saying like the game sucks, but like the experience of trying to play it on a console is a nightmare. Yeah. Because
you ran into the problem that a lot of those games have where it's like they don't have a good way to make controls for it on a console. You could spend the time to learn it, but it's not fun.
It's too much like in a good way and in a bad way. Because on the console, like there are 2 different like pause menus. Like one is like the buy menu and like the gear menu and like the feed menu. Yeah. Then another one is like the map, but then there's a second map, and then there's like setting. It's so much. And trying to remember which one was where, and just trying to sort this shit out. Even with mods that are built to like break the game, because there's like a thing you can put down that just gives you like essentially infinite money and some other stuff. It wasn't even fun to play because it's so obtuse to try to get into on like console, and just trying to like have a guy, because you can hire automated workers to do the work for you.
Yeah,
just trying to figure that shit out, to have this guy like plant potatoes is a nightmare. And when I finally started to get the hang of it, like an hour and a half in, I'm like, okay, I kind of see, I get it. It's not going to be that difficult. Well, that's when I realized that in co-op, it does not track the other player's progress. So no matter what
one of
he
those
did
kind of games.
on my farm, it didn't count for anything.
Out. Yeah.
So we were like, fuck this. Like, if I'm going to do this, like, it's not fun.
I'd be out too.
It's just we wasting time at this point. And I just don't need – it's something I don't need to play on my own. So,
no, it wouldn't be fun.
No, we were having fun, like, you know, driving the truck around and, like, picking shit up and moving stuff around. But it's just – if it's not going to be worth it for both people to play, there's no point.
No.
I think this is the one you want to talk about, so I'm going to skip it. So then I played the things rolled over this week where now it's to play – I think it wants me to play games where under 500 people have played it on the thing, and play like PS2 classics and stuff. Okay, so PS2 classics is like, okay, there's plenty of stuff on there I want to play. So I've Tomb Raider Legend. I love that game. I love Tomb Raider games in general.
I played the 360 version.
I played that game probably like 3-4 times. I did everything you could do just because I loved it so much. This is a PS2 version. It's kind of lame. Pretty rough.
Yeah.
It probably controlled this one at 360, but it controls bad. It's very floaty. It's super dark.
Okay. Yeah.
There
were a lot of games in that era that had that problem where it was too dark.
It's still a decent game, and I probably will just play through it to finish it. But I don't know if it's because it's the PS4 version of this game. But even though it's a PS2 game, I can't rewind it. You know, that's like weird. In those games where like you could pause and like rewind, like because I've done that for Indiana Jones. This game will not let me rewind it. I don't know.
Maybe they had something they couldn't do it with a Tomb Raider game or something.
So that doesn't exist in there. So that's going to make not dying and stuff a little bit more difficult because I don't remember the puzzles yet. So I'll just have to play it again.
Okay.
That game's not bad. And then the last thing I booted up yesterday because like. Again, I need to play a game that under 500 people have played. So the PS4 version of the PS2 game Summoner qualifies for that.
Boy.
I like this game, and I think it still kind of holds up. For what it is, it's very clunky.
It's extremely clunky.
It is a good, for the time period it came out in. Like, this is early PS2. This is like...
I don't think it was a launch title, but it was in that window.
It was within that window. It was within that first year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very clunky, but like you can tell that there's a lot in the game. Like, they thought about a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of systems, and each character is very different in how you like chain attacks. The only thing I'll say about the game is it is terrible at telling you where to go. I mean, like, it's not really built to be the kind of game that is going to hold your hand and be like, here's a waypoint marker and here's a line drawn on the floor, go follow it. But unless you're paying attention, like when you talk to certain people or like you're reading through quests and stuff, it does not. You have no fucking clue where you're going.
No, it's got no arrow or anything showing you.
Literally nothing. And you kind of have to remember the map and remember where did I see that guy and what was that guy's name, and because like none of that stuff comes up. So one of the trophies in the game is like do a ton of the side quests, which is pretty easy to find because they have these like red exclamation points over their head. But then I do have to remember like, who is this guy? How does he relate to this other guy? Where was he? How did I get here? What direction is this? It's a lot.
Surprising that game is only
can't set a marker or anything.
No, it's
this is a 25-year-old game.
Yeah, this is
well, you know,
and it plays.
You never know.
It does play like a 25-year-old game, but I would argue that it does hold up pretty well for a game of this style from that era. I actually, you know, because I just have to get some trophies in it. I actually might finish this game just to kind of see, because I never really played a ton of it back when it came out.
No, and I think I might have got it mixed up with that other game. Like, is it called Eternal?
There's
Ring?
Eternal Ring. You might be thinking of. This is more along the lines of. It gives me a very much like a. I don't want to say Baldur's Gate because I've given it too much credit, but so far it's been pretty solid. The combat's okay because it's like an auto combat, but then you can do skills and chain attacks. shockingly good for this old of a game. So I might actually play a pretty decent amount more of that. Because I kind of want to see what the other characters are like. I was looking up some stuff too for trophies, and apparently there are very like broken builds for characters you could do, where it's like, yeah, just dump all your points into this, and you'll just fuck the game over. So I'm kind of interested to see what that does.
Okay.
But yeah, shockingly decent game for. So that's pretty much it for me in terms of like the random bullshit I played.
What? Yeah.
Okay. So I went ahead and picked up Royal Kingdom on my cell phone because I was in the mood to play a cell phone based game, and I kept seeing ads for this that kept saying there were no ads in the game. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot.
How much of a lie is that?
It's actually not.
Whoa.
Legit. Like I'm on level like 80 of this game so far, and not one ad has populated in this entire thing.
It's just a match 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a matching game. There's a cool like top-down feature to it. Like, I think it's after like every, I want to say it's like 10 levels. It goes into like this like top-down type where every match you make essentially shoots off bullets, and you have to like clear the board that way. It's entertaining. I mean, I'm 80 levels in, and I, consistently still play it. So, I mean, it's kind of nice to actually find a game that says there are no ads and mean it.
Yeah, that's so far crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't push like there are like, I will say there are like icons and stuff as far as like on the screen where you can like buy and like upgrades, and there's like all kinds of different things you can do, but like you don't have to do it to play through it. So I might keep it and keep running it because it's a lot of fun. I picked up, or I didn't pick it up, but I picked back up The Forest because I kind of feel like I need to get through that game. The downfall is apparently I have awoken some demonic, headless, deranged thing that like is tearing down my camp and trying to kill me, and I'm just like,
that game gets real fucked the longer you like stay alive.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, so now I'm like on the boat just watching this dude destroy my camp. And I'm like, how do I kill this guy? They're like, there's no, no good way of doing this. So I at this point I think I'm about to abandon ship and just go someplace new and start over. Well, not like start over, but at least start a new camp.
Yeah.
I did also start playing Dead Cells again. It's a fun game.
Do you have all the DLC for that game too?
Like I don't have all the DLC, but I think I may look into it.
Okay.
I don't think any DLC purchase is going to play into my 10 games for the year.
No, I wouldn't count it, but also I would look for like a major sale on DLC.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I have it digitally, so I'm expecting a sale to drop, like around
What
Christmas.
Are you playing it on? The PC
Switch?
Or on Switch? Okay.
Yeah. It runs fine. I mean,
no, I was trying to think of, because I know like PlayStation and Xbox are both doing their summer sales right now. I don't know if the eShop's doing anything right now.
I don't think so. If I remember correctly, I didn't see anything on it.
Okay.
And then I have been playing more of Elden Ring Night Rain, dude. Like, I talked to you about this a while back. Like, shockingly, it has
the one that's clicked for you.
Dude, it's the one that's clicked for me. I've been enjoying it. I think it's because it's a team of 3. You can either play now a team of 3 or a duo. They switched
they did finally patch that. Okay.
Yeah, and which is cool, but I've played with my friend on the duo, and it still doesn't feel like set up to do well under duos. Like you have to have like really strong like weapons and stuff to make it through, and I feel like that's kind of like you guys
probably
need to patch
part of the
this
point
at this point. But all in all, I mean, it's fun. You go in, you play through 3 nights. And once you get to the main boss, you axe him and kind of go from there. I will say, so the way the game works is you start off, it's the map, it's kind of open. The three of you kind of do whatever you know or want, and essentially like a ring starts closing in to where like
kind of like a typical battle royale.
Yeah, typical battle royale. Once you get through that first boss, it progresses to night 2. You kind of do the same thing. You just kind of move. I've only beaten 2 bosses out of the 7, I believe, that are so far.
There's 7 total that they rotate in and out.
Mm-hmm. And I just can't click with the teams I keep landing. Like, I don't know what it is. They're just not. Everybody seems very like, if you don't follow their route, they just don't want to deal with you.
Have you faced the guy on the cloud boss?
Not yet.
Okay, fuck that boss. He's the worst boss. He's my, like, when they showed him in that initial reveal trailer, that was the loudest, like, fuck you I've said in a while, because that boss is the one boss I didn't beat in Dark Souls 3. So, because he's an optional boss.
Yeah.
That boss sucks. So.
He looks, I mean, it's fun.
He flies around on his cloud. And he's basically Zeus. He throws lightning bolts at you. He's a pain in the ass. I don't remember what his official, like, name in the lore is, but we'll just call him Zeus.
I'll tell you when I get to him. I will say, though, like, I have been enjoying it. It did make me want to pick back up Elden Ring in general, which is kind of funny. I will say I did try to play Elden Ring this morning. I died 3 times in like 10 minutes, and then I put it back down. And I said, all right, I'm gonna have to replay this again. I'm just gonna have to give myself a moment to breathe.
Did you like pick up where you had left off, or did you start over?
No, I picked up where I left off.
Okay. I don't think you got very far in it, to be fair.
Oh, dude, I was maybe like 30 minutes into that game when I decided to put it back on the shelf. But I will say I do really like Night Rain right now. And I think I do want to start trying to play through Elden Ring. I've played several of these Soul games, and some of them just haven't clicked. Like that.
I can see it.
It's just one of those things, man. It's like either you really like them or you don't. Kind of, I feel like the same way with RPGs. Either you like them or you don't, and if you don't, you just won't. Which is why I'm trying to force myself to play through these Final Fantasy, the pixel ones, because I do want to get into them, and I know I'm not gonna like grip on to every RPG we play, but it's like I know there's like an abundance when it comes to that kind of like game. So it's like I really need to try to push to just get through like a story and kind of see how it works to see if it's something I actually will be do. Because if it's not,
the pixel remasters, like if you're planning on playing them, I know we've talked about it before, but if you're planning on playing them in order, like you're gonna kind of suffer through the first 3.
Yeah,
that's why I always say like 4 is a better like to jump in point to see if you like the structure.
Well, you're not the only person that said that. I have another friend that's right now actually playing through all of them, and like she is on. I think she just finished up 5, so she's moving on to 6 right now. And I reached out to her and I was like, you know, I see that you're playing through them. You know, what do you recommend too? And she was like, I highly recommend starting with 4.
Yeah.
She was like, just start there and just kind of go through it.
That's when it became kind of like what it is now.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 are more like, you got to remember those were NES titles, so those have bigger restrictions. Like Final Fantasy 1 is a broken mess on the NES. They fixed it for Game Boy Advance version, but that's not the version you got in this thing. So those are more so to like, once you're into this series, you go back and see where it came from, and you just kind of move on after that. But
gotcha. I mean, I really hope that I can push through. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've got time. I don't intend on like going away or doing anything crazy. So I mean, I have literally started starting games and at least trying to give myself between like 2 to 3 hours. And then if I'm like, I just don't like it or I can't get behind it, I'm going to start pushing it to the side into like the category of you don't want to do it again for right now. So I can just kind of start blazing through things. That way I can kind of see where like I actually want to be, because like I said, I just want to play through games. I'm tired of like buying these games and not doing anything with them, and I need to start doing something with them.
Yeah, and like the Souls game, like there's even some of those that like I like Sekiro is the one that sticks out the most to me, because that is the one that like everybody fell over when it came out, and like I just could not get into it. I tried again a couple years later, just that one for whatever reason just doesn't click for me.
Yeah.
And like I've loved every other one of those games, but for some reason Sekiro just nope. I'm sure it's a fine game, but I just can't get into that one.
Well, that's like Lies of P.
Yeah,
it was on.
I'm gonna try it now that it was the Plus game this month, but I think I'm gonna wait until, because I know how that DLC works now, so I want to get that DLC just to have it. So, because it works. What did we? It was like chapter 9 or something is when it leads into the DLC, Dan, for Lies of P.
Something like that.
We were talking about.
It's late in the game.
like it's not easily accessible if you've beaten the game. So
Gotcha.
that's why I was like, I probably should get that DLC before I decide to play. So I'll wait till that DLC's on sale. But I was happy to see that as a Plus game. So
yeah, I tried that.
My other weird thing about those games, for whatever reason, I only like those types of games with a PlayStation controller. It just doesn't work for me with an Xbox controller.
Well, on the PlayStation controller, it's more square, so it's easier to like grip it.
Those games are all about using the shoulder buttons.
Exactly.
And I don't like using the triggers on the Xbox for that stuff.
That makes sense.
So, whereas like on the flip side of that, I would rather play a first-person shooter with an Xbox controller any time possible. Yeah. So, not that it's unplayable with the PlayStation controller, but
it's just
if you gave me the choice.
Yeah, it just feels differently in those.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the main reason. Like when that hit Game Pass and was such a big deal, I didn't bother because I knew I would run into that issue with it. So
yeah.
Does that cover you then, Matt?
Yep, that's me.
Okay. We can kick over then to news. Not a whole lot of news. A couple minor things, but again, we're in the dog days of summer, so there's not like an insane amount of stuff going on. We're what, like over a month past the E3 time of the year. We're getting ready for fall. Like I feel like fall's starting. Is it like Madden's out next week? Is it?
Madden's out.
It is out. Yeah. Okay. So like if Madden's out, we're starting to kick off.
That's
fall.
basically like the end of summer.
Yeah. That's going to kind of start to kick off. And like September, there's a shit ton of stuff coming out. So like we're just around we're just about to round the corner on that stuff. So but yeah, we'll go through the news here. We've talked and joked about it a lot, but Starfield is reportedly finally going to be set for a PlayStation release next spring, alongside a new expansion. So that seems like the reason why they've waited is they want to have a like complete edition of it that would have both expansions. And I think I do remember like a while ago they said they wanted to do another expansion for it. I'm surprised given like Microsoft and everything that's going on with them, they wouldn't have canceled another, expansion for this and be like, nah, go work on, Elder Scrolls 6 or something. But I don't know how any of that works at Microsoft, as we'll discuss more a little bit later in the news. But it'll be nice to finally see Starfield hit PlayStation. I know you've waited for a while, Dan.
That's when I want to finally get into it.
Bethesda
but
RPG.
Again, I'm waiting for it to hit PlayStation and then go on sale on PlayStation is what I'm waiting for.
I wouldn't. A good $30-ish.
If that game gets released on disc, does it have any content on it whatsoever?
I don't think so.
Probably not, right? None?
I don't think so, because the DLC would be download too.
Right.
They would either give you a code in the box, which will really piss people off. Or it'll be an install key.
Is that much worse? Probably not.
Probably not. One of the bigger news stories that happened in the past 2 weeks is Nintendo has raised the prices on all original Switch hardware. Not the Switch 2, not games.
Not yet.
But all the original Switch hardware has gone up. I do find it funny that the OLED Switch went up $100, but then Walmart is currently selling it for $100 off. So it's just the same price it was.
Because the thing is Walmart, I think they're one of the few places that realizes we're not going to sell these at $100 more. We weren't selling them at the current price.
No, nobody is. Nobody, like, most people are not going to walk into a store today to buy a Switch 1. So, but they put out an announcement on August 1st that the new prices were going to go into effect on August 3rd. Obviously, this gets into tariff territory. But again, it's everything across the board in terms of the original Switch systems. So that includes the OLED, that includes the lights. Original Joy-Cons are part of this as well.
Amiibo.
Amiibos, that was the other one where, like, isn't it the dual packs are $20 or $30? No, $40.
It's too much.
40.
We already raised the price of Amiibo.
Yeah.
We already did that before they came out. What are you doing?
It's weird that it's this and not the Switch 2.
I
feel like the Switch 2 is they want to hold off and get through this holiday.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, well, we got to be the hot thing for Christmas.
Yeah, because I feel like right now, if you come out and say, well, sorry guys, now it's $550, that's gonna make it even tougher pill to swallow for like parents and stuff that want to buy that system for their kids for Christmas. So I feel like it is very much a January 1st. Oh, the Switch 2 is now more expensive. So, and I think honestly, I said $550. I think it'll be more. If the OLED Switch went up $100, I
can see it being $6.
Switch 2 is going to be $6 easily. Just wild to me. Like, I also look at Microsoft. Like, they did that back in May, and it's still $100 more to buy a Series X system. I saw units at Walmart this past weekend.
It's crazy because, like, on Facebook Marketplace, I'm literally on there right now, and someone is selling a Nintendo Switch for $90. Like, yeah. Why do you think I'm going to spend that much more money extra in store for that when I can literally go online and find all of this for cheaper? $60 for a Nintendo Switch Lite. Like, bananas.
Crazy. Sony had a big earnings call this past week where some stuff came out. And these two news articles kind of go together. But they have admitted that their live service push has not gone well thus far, which I don't think surprises anybody. But the bigger thing is that they had a comment that they made that really triggered a lot of Sony fans in this earnings call. And then I'll take just the snippet of the comment that was made and we'll give it more context. But the comment that was made by one of the board members is, we're moving away from hardware-centric business. And of course, that immediately raises flags and, gets people upset because they think they're going to maybe go a Microsoft route or something. But that's really, no way. That's not the case.
No.
So
they're not the ones fucking up over and over and over again.
What they're really getting behind is that a larger percent of their business overall, in like all of their portfolio, 60% of that is like related to digital content, and related to services, and not hardware.
You also need something to play that digital content on,
right? Exactly.
Microsoft doesn't care because they don't want you to use your Xbox as an Xbox, because my PlayStation is an Xbox now. But I gotta play something on that. You're not getting a
subscription there. You'll buy that game at full price.
Exactly. We're not.
Especially if it's 4 years old.
We're not losing money to Game Pass releases there because we're getting $70 a pop for Call of Duty over there.
Exactly. I'll throw this one in there because it ties into the Sony stuff. But Bungie is basically going to be shuttered within the next year, and it's slowly being absorbed into Sony, which means they're just going to absorb those people into other various studios.
Shocker.
It's not a shocker. It's just more sad than anything else.
It's been something that's like been pretty obvious was going to happen for years now.
So that means we don't get a Destiny 3?
No, it means you do. I think it means you do, but it is
a Sony published first party game
on Xbox. But if they're smart, they put that on Switch as well. But I think you do get one. It's probably farther away now. And Marathon could be dead, right? It could be.
So I was trying to find context to that, but the Marathon thing I read was like, they keep saying it has to be out by March 2026 or it's not going to happen, is the way I read it. Was basically they've said that's the deadline or it's going to be shelved.
Can we just say it's not going to happen then? Because
it seems like they would just shelf it then. So I mean, like when that whole scandal happened a month or two ago, like I would have just canned it then and there. Like, why continue it? I cannot imagine. The list of people that are excited about Marathon is very long in 2025. So I would have canned it and moved on to something else. Put your money towards something different. But yeah, the Bungie thing, it's sad. I mean, that's a studio that has a pretty deep and lengthy legacy with Halo and then with this.
But you can see, like I said, you could see the writing when it was kind of like, well, we put out all this live service stuff that's not working. And we've had Bungie review like the Last of Us multiplayer game to see if that would work. Like they're using them for other things. And then now 100%. It's like, well, we're making Marathon and that's not working. So it's like, well, shit, maybe it's just time to like take the talent we have because they obviously built something here and use that to get some of this other shit done.
They clearly trust that talent a lot if they were able to take that Last of Us multiplayer thing to those people and say, is this viable or not? And trust their judgment. And their judgment was, no, this isn't good. You should probably can it. And that's what they did. So that tells me that they have a lot of faith in the people that work on that. And that's why they're being absorbed in different parts of it. It might also be
the final, the sign that somebody's finally starting to realize maybe live service stuff doesn't work.
No, I don't think it's that it doesn't work. I think it's that they went too aggressive into it and announced way too many things.
It doesn't work in a sense of like, it's 1 out of 25 catch on.
Yeah.
And the last one that did is a Marvel property. And the one before that was an EA Titanfall property.
Okay.
But I'm saying in terms of like those kind of games. Helldivers is kind of a different thing. But you're right. You're right. Yeah. So yeah, all these like free to play ones are somewhat known things that have just kind of caught on. But then for every one of those, there's Foam Stars, or there's Fair Games, or like just all this other shit.
I don't think that game ever comes out.
Fair Games is fucking dead. No, there's no way.
There's no way. But I think that's why they're starting to admit, like, our live service push has not been successful. I think they will scale it back. I don't think they're going to completely kill it, but I think I think a lot of the projects that they announced that we don't know, because remember they announced they were with like 12 different live service games. I bet you the ones that we don't know about are the ones that will be killed.
I would say almost all are. Yeah, Microsoft level purge. Hey, do you want to know something crazy? Concord came out a year ago.
Yeah, that was a year ago. I realized that today. Like,
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's insane. That's already been a year since that disaster. Speaking of things circling the drain, Microsoft has killed another I wouldn't say exclusive, but another original title that was been long in development, has not been seen in 4 years.
I completely forgot about it until they canceled it.
I would mention it every time we got to that time of the year as like, oh, it feels like it's time to show more of this, and then they never did. And that would be Contraband, the Avalanche games, the people that made the Just Cause games and Mad Max. They were working on this game. We never got anything other than that teaser of like you were going to be fighting drug cartels or something. Yep. So that's it. We never got anything else about this game. What it was, what it was
like agent level knowledge of the game.
Exactly. This has been killed.
I mean, so shocker, right? Anything that can be canceled will be canceled. I don't. You didn't put this in here, but this is something I want to bring up because of this. You saw that they're celebrating like the Rare's 40th anniversary, and they put up that banner
in
with
a really shitty way.
Perfect Dark and it's like we put up a banner with all these franchises we literally don't give a shit about anymore.
Well, and then just like to top that off, like that's already shitty,
right?
But then to outsource that controller to what was it, 8-bit dude?
Well, which is fine.
Where it's like
they make
you guys
stuff,
already make controllers first party, like even though the design lab hasn't been open for a couple months now, but like still. You couldn't, like, they're putting out new variants still.
What are we celebrating?
You can put this out. Yeah, what are we celebrating here?
What?
That studio is basically
There's
dead
a picture
now.
of the pirate chick from Sea of Thieves in that banner.
That's all they're
celebrating. And I laugh because under every post, like every comment under like a post of that picture, it's like Banjo 3, Banjo. Like I can't believe we're bringing. No, dude, Banjo's fucking dead. They're not. It's all dead.
It's all dead.
Unless Banjo becomes a live service game, they're not making it.
I
Joanna
didn't put that in here, but I'm glad you brought
Joanna
it up.
Dark is in the middle of that fucking photo.
Yeah, she
and
is.
We're just talking about how you canceled her game after what you showed of it was specifically made so you could show it.
Exactly.
It wasn't a game.
Very odd timing.
They have to be tone deaf on purpose, right? Someone has to understand this isn't a good look, but we're going to do it anyway. And then just pretend that, like, just ignore literally everything.
There has to be some guy that's in an office somewhere that is constantly running to one of these executives and being like, I don't think we should do this. And the executive is like, we're going to do it anyways.
Right.
I cannot believe there's not a single person in that building.
It has to be an accepted practice at that company now to just... It doesn't. We don't care if it makes us look bad because we make ourselves look bad. So really, anything else that happens is whatever. And
it's bad.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I saw that thing pop up and I just laughed. Like this is like the complete opposite of everything you've been doing for the past 6 months.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, they did confirm Kojima's OD is still in development.
Sure.
And with that, with saying that now that Death Stranding's out of the way, and this is what I laugh at. That's still in development, but it sounds like he's really devoting all his time to that 5 cent game that was announced as the next thing. So, like, is he really splitting his time between these two games, or do you think he's just making 5 cent and OD will be forgotten about in another year or two when it inevitably doesn't happen? I don't know. But I laughed when I saw they had to come out and confirm that. Like, no, we're still working on that. Like, did you ask Kojima though? Like, is he still working on it? Because he's over here talking about 5 cent as the next thing. And that was announced. And I'll remind you, 5 cent was announced after OD, not before it. So I don't know, man. Good old Rod Ferguson, the Gears Viking, who left after Gears 5, went over to Blizzard, helped get Diablo 4 out of the door, has now left Blizzard. I joked with my buddy because we're big Gears fans, but like, do you think he just goes back to help get E-Day out the door?
He could.
He could.
Somebody's totally get that game out.
I mean, he kind of was the person that helped get 4 and 5 out the door. So before he left. He took over that when Cliffy B left. So
somebody's got to get E-Day out the door before they close that studio too.
Right, like that's probably the last Gears game, right?
It's going to probably be the last one for a while. Not counting remakes and remasters and whatever we can.
You don't think they ever finished that story of 5? No. That had a cliffhanger.
So who cares? They don't give a shit.
It was 6 years ago.
It's going to be another 6 before you hear anything about it. Because E-Day is not going to sell well because they don't sell a console that's affordable that you could play it on. It's not. And like, is that on PlayStation Day 1?
It will sell. I don't know if it's Day 1, but it will be on PlayStation. They did confirm that was coming to PlayStation. So
I think
here's what
you have a better chance by just remaking 1, 2, 3, and 4 on PlayStation than on new Gears.
Here's what I think happens with E-Day. I think it's dependent on how well and how fast this Gears remaster sells on PS5.
Well, the Gears remaster should sell well.
It's going to sell very well. It is, but I feel like if the numbers are high enough, they'll go, we should probably put that out day one on PS5.
I think I don't know if it'll be day one, but I think whatever the gap was, we might shrink a little bit.
Shrink it, like maybe a month.
Yeah.
Okay. The last news article, I threw it at the bottom because it's not really a game article. But on occasion, we talk a little bit about wrestling on this podcast.
Garbaggio.
And this dropped this week. This is probably the other like biggest news of the week, I guess, in entertainment. WWE has signed a deal with ESPN to move all of their live premium events to ESPN, which means starting January, they'll be on ESPN. So they're going to divorce themselves from Peacock for that stuff, but Peacock will still have SmackDown.
Well, technically, yes, but SmackDown is just on TV. So
it's on TV as well. So.
Here's what it really means, because this whole thing is fucked.
Yeah, sideways. I'll let you run it down.
So instead of using Peacock to watch your PLEs or PPVs or whatever the fuck you want to call them, you now have to spend $30 a month for a new ESPN app, not ESPN Plus, ESPN, which is what the app is called, to be able to watch 10 PLEs next year. So if you want to watch all 10 PLEs through the ESPN app, you now have to pay $300 just to watch those. That's on top of the fact that Raw is only on Netflix for another 9 years.
Yeah.
And then if you want to watch NXT, that's on the CW. So you got to watch that.
Yeah.
And then Peacock or TV or YouTube TV or whatever has SmackDown. It is insane because everything, and now, they're coming out saying our fans will follow us. Our fans are willing to pay.
They're very
the
confident that people will follow.
Because here's the other thing. It's ESPN app, man. What if next year dude, it's $40 a month. We just said it was, and it is now. Because that's what all these streaming things can do to you at the drop of a hat. Well, Hulu's disappearing. Hulu's gone.
Remember I told you Peacock is raising their prices in September because they're banking. They're banking on people are going to come crawling over for that Office spinoff,
which looks awful.
It looks terrible.
It's bad. I saw that today, and I was like, please stop.
Nothing about that looks good.
But Peacock's now raising prices when they're losing content.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now, the only glimmer of hope was that thing I sent you after, and I'm going to try to find it just because the way I read it makes it sound like it's not the end of the world. But if you have ESPN through your cable provider, so Comcast, DirecTV, Hulu, Live TV, YouTube TV, whatever, you don't have to pay for the ESPN app. So it'll work like one of those things where you can log in using your TV provider, which, thank God, because I have YouTube TV after I cut Comcast, because Comcast got fucking out of control after a certain point.
Their TV stuff sucks.
Yeah, so I cut that, and I have YouTube TV and stuff for, I'll be honest, mostly like football and other stuff. But if I had to pay $30 extra for WWE PLEs, no thanks, man. I'll just watch it burned on YouTube the next day. Or like on your own fucking Facebook feed where you post the results of matches 2 minutes after they happen.
Literally.
Like it's crazy because if you want to avoid spoilers from pay-per-views, because if you can't watch them live, you can't follow them on social media of any kind.
Nope.
It'll just be
Well, and the crazy thing is you can't get on social media at all.
Nope.
Like every time I open up Facebook, I have the results of whatever happened.
Yep. You like the wrestling post one time, bam, it's the top thing on your feed.
That's it. It's over. So anytime I miss a show and I really want to watch it, I have to literally go dark on social media at all. I can't go to TikTok. I can't go to YouTube. I can't go to Facebook. I can't go to Instagram. Can't go anywhere. So I guess this is where Royal Kingdom comes into play, and I can play more of that and get through it. But this deal itself, I've seen so many posts of people online just saying there's no way they're jumping to another app just to watch the PLEs.
No, and a friend of mine and I were talking about it. It's because what are we going to do? I'm not.
And you have to pay $50.
Yeah.
If you don't have the app
and
you want to watch the PLEs, they're $50.
Which is crazy because why that is because they want you to force you to buy the app. to sign in for this app. But I end up having to tell her, I'm like, we'll just find a way to do it. Like, don't worry about it. We'll find a way. The internet
same
exists.
thing can be said for like AEW, because AEW's been doing this ever since their existence. They're on like Bleacher Report, and you literally have to pay to watch all of their shows. Like, they have content on HBO Max, but it's everything from like year 1 and part of year 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like their live shows like Collision and Dynamite are every week. But if you want to watch anything aside from that, you have to pay $50.
I mean, it's reasonable because, like, outside of ticket sales at these shows, this is where they make them a lot of their money is from these things. But I'll remind you, the WWE Network was not that long ago, and it was $10 fucking dollars.
$10
I could watch every episode of Raw ever made. Everything was in one package. You could watch all of it. It was fantastic.
You know what really blew my mind is when they got rid of it, because I was like, why? You could literally have the WWE Network for $30.
Yes, it was worth more than $10.
And people would have paid for it. Like, we wouldn't have complained because guess what? We have all of this content to go through. Now the downfall is I gotta watch Raw on Netflix, and then I gotta jump over to Peacock to find like other shows.
It just
some of them shows aren't even on Peacock right now.
And
like,
what's
you have to jump over. It's bananas.
Where's it all gonna go? What's gonna happen? Am I gonna be able to watch all the old PLEs on ESPN, or are they gonna stay on Peacock? Or like Netflix bought Raw, but didn't buy the back catalog of Raw. So you can't go watch old Raw. It's like, what the fuck? Why is it beneficial to your brand to have it spread over like 4 different things?
Doesn't make sense.
It's just it's killing the brand. And especially, and we're not even going to go into like the political shit that's happening in that place right now. And like,
there's a lot with that.
Every dumbass move everyone at the top of that company is making that kind of spits in the face of anyone with decency. It's crazy. It's like crazy. You're asking me to watch a product that I'm actively starting to hate and to pay $30 for. Wrestling is dumb. Like, we can all agree, wrestling is very fucking dumb. But I have a fun time watching it because I like some of the people. It's getting to the point where the people I like don't necessarily outweigh the people I don't like at that place.
Yeah.
And again, not getting super into it, but we all thought, I think, that like Triple H would be the savior. Holy shit, is he not?
No.
He's just, I honestly think he's just puppet McMahon. I still think Vince is telling him what to do at all times. Because your buddy Vince, he's probably coming back.
Seems like it.
There's nothing.
I've seen a lot of rumors right now.
Keep him down. Especially not multiple sexual trafficking lawsuits. But
if Brock Lesnar can come back,
anyone can come back.
Anybody can.
If our president is already there, I mean,
he's a Hall of Famer, dude. President's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But it's just I thought we talked about it a lot before it happened. Like, man, if Triple H should get in here and actually do his own thing, nah, man, he's just a fucking puppet. And ever since TKO bought him, he hasn't been in charge anyway.
You know what's bananas is, like, it's funny because we all, like, I was so happy when Triple H got a hold of it, and I was really excited, and I was hoping he was going to do
things. Put on that really good Mania that year.
Yeah.
And but it seemed like it was on a different spectrum.
It's like what Triple H was running in NXT. It's like Shawn Michaels has now become the Triple H of the brand, because he is literally putting together some of the most amazing shows in NXT.
Interesting.
Oh god, yeah, man. Some of the talent he has right now is fantastic.
Okay.
And it's just like once they go to the main roster,
why is NXT the best product they have? Why has it been the best product they've had for like a fucking decade?
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Everyone in NXT, like, the most random people get super over in NXT. And then they go up to the main roster and they're like, fuck you, you're dead to us. Yeah. Like, it's insane. Like, they did that thing where they brought up Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie all at the same time. And decided, and Roxanne kind of got forced into having a tag belt because Liv went out and whatever. But like Stephanie, it's like they hate her. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. She's the most popular of the 3. What
Julia
are you doing?
The same way.
Julia at least has a belt. Yeah. But then they realize, like, I don't know. Like, wrestling's real fucking frustrating sometimes just because it doesn't make any sense a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that NXT is the best product because I'm like, I don't watch a ton of it, but every so often I'll watch the like pay-per-views, and you go, this shit's far better.
Fantastic.
Like
fantastic.
You know, I really like, and Matt, you'll know, I like Fraxium a lot because the two of those guys together are insane. And
they're good.
And then they throw them up into SmackDown, and it's like, well, you're just going to be in 16 tag matches for the eternity because we're never going to make you the top guys. But in NXT, they're crazy good.
I always go back and look at like what Finn Balor was to what he is now.
Nothing. He's nothing compared to what he was.
Like they had an opportunity to literally make him the next like Undertaker level wrestler. Unkillable. Like they could have done the same type of thing with him.
And now
they had a perfect opportunity to kind of pass that spooky torch to him, so to speak.
Yeah. And you know what he is now? Because you don't watch it a lot now. Do you know what he is now? No. He's comedy relief for the Judgment Day. That's his job.
I will say though, I am excited that with the acquisition of AAA, they've been letting their main roster people jump ship to go down there and actually wrestle, and their pay-per-view is coming up, I think, in like 2 weeks. Triple Mania is going to be on YouTube for free, which is fantastic because they've got Finn and his partner JD and Raquel going down there to wrestle two AAA guys and one NXT girl. Okay. I think those matches
always end up being crazy. Yeah, because they let them get away with more stuff.
Yeah,
interesting.
They allow them to do more. Like the last AAA show that they put on YouTube had Chad Gable versus Vikingo, and one of the things they would never allow they did like a top rope power driver, and I was like, wow, that was fantastic.
You might agree with me too. Like I think Chad Gable, like he's out now, which is a bummer. He's one of the best like technical wrestlers they've had in the past decade. Every time that dude wrestles, incredible. He's so good, and he'll do whatever they want him to do.
Yeah,
and
he makes it. He makes it good.
Like
I can't be mad at him at all for what he does.
El Grande Americano stuff, it was amazing, and then they had to lose it because of his shoulder stuff. But like now they're trying to like work where it's other people, and it's like it's not the same. It's not as fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, he does some crazy shit, and it's always good to watch. But again, that's a guy they'll never put over.
No, I will say this. I will say one of the best things he's done that shows exactly how great of a wrestler he is when he like did that rolling. He does a rolling German suplex, and he did it with Braun Strowman at like last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, he can lift,
and it was like and it was a deadlift. Like it wasn't like Braun Strowman jumped. Like he literally grabs him by the waist and just powered him over, and like. It's cool to see, like, he's done a couple of interviews where he was like, yeah, I just did it. And you hear Braun going, oh, no! But, yeah, wrestling is in a very weird place. And with this ESPN deal, I think, unfortunately, WWE is going to lose a lot because people are going to start pirating it now because it's not worth it anymore.
Not for $30 a month.
Not at all.
And again, like I agree with you. Like if they would have just kept the network and slowly raised the price, like they would have lost a lot less people because it's still in one place. And I still don't understand. Like when the deal ran out with the USA, they could have just put it on their own network and jack the price up a little bit.
What if all wrestling was just on their own
in one
thing,
hub, right? Like
and you you know what you could have done? You could have left Monday Night Raw on USA because it was like it's the marquee show. And moved everything else to the network, I would have paid you $20 a month.
Yeah, because I liked. I mean, the other thing I liked about this is watching the old pay-per-views, like WCW.
There was a time where I was just like, "We're gonna go back to like 2000." I think it was like 2005.
Did you watch all the Rumbles at one point?
I basically was just like, "We're gonna go to January 2005, and we're gonna watch every fucking pay-per-view in order." And you miss out on some stuff because like you miss out on like the little beats in between. But if you've watched enough wrestling, you could pick up an entire storyline from watching one match in a pay per view. Like,
was that the year they had the crazy Cena versus?
Oh God, he had so many insane matches back in his like prime that were.
Why can't I think of the announcer's name?
Oh, versus JBL on top of the limo.
JBL, yeah,
that was a good one. Like,
it's a fucking crazy match.
But yeah, like you can watch a lot of that stuff on Peacock, but also it's like. How many ads do you want to sit through on Peacock? Because it's a lot of them. Get ready.
It's going to be a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
How many ads do you think this ESPN app's going to have? A shitload.
A shit ton. That ain't going to be ad free.
No.
I don't think ESPN has an ad free version.
No, God, no.
There's no way they could.
That's and if it is, Nike $40 right there.
That's how that station survives too. Where do you think they get all 100%. The money to buy the app or buy? Right. They bought NFL Red Zone, which isn't going to matter to a lot of people, but that's very bad that they did that because NFL Red Zone was that channel where like you could watch all the different games at one time with no commercials. ESPN owns it now. I told my buddy, I'm like, I can't wait to be watching that, and then a giant fucking Snickers bar just covers half the screen for 20 minutes. And it's like, this is brought to you commercial free by Snickers, but you can't watch any of the fucking football.
Feed your hunger or whatever their slogan is. Insane.
I fucking hate. Disney, and like, I mentioned it before, but like, Hulu's gone. It's just Disney, part of Disney Plus now. Fine, I get it.
That's happening because Disney will never be able to admit that Disney Plus failed.
Exactly. So the only way to make it a success is to take a successful one.
They've already been doing that slowly anyways. Like if you load up Disney Plus, like you're going to see crazy shit on there that's
like Disney Plus like adult account.
Why is the bear on
It's
here?
all the Hulu shit at the top.
Exactly.
It's like fine, then just do it. But then it's going to suck cuz now it's going to be called Disney Plus Hulu, it's live sports. It's too much.
I saw somebody make the abbreviation Who Dis Plus, and that made me laugh.
What if they renamed it and they renamed it Cable, and then I just had to sign up?
There you go. Let's do it. I mean, it's telling when Comcast sells a literal streaming package. That you can get a deal for all that stuff. I mean, I pay for that package deal for Hulu, Disney, and HBO. No ads for $30 a month, and I think that's fair.
We'll see how.
Dude, that's the best thing I found is when
when you told me that, I'm like, all right,
I'm gonna wait to see what happens when they finally like absorb it and what everything gets mashed to and what we're gonna charge for this shit.
Yeah,
because
I use Hulu's probably.
Well, here's the other one.
Outside of Spotify and YouTube, that's probably the other one I use the most.
Here's the other secret. So. I pay for Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube. I use somebody else's Hulu. I have Peacock for free through my internet subscription. And I share somebody else's Amazon. But I'm also giving my Netflix to some, like, I don't pay for all this shit. I can't afford it. We all have to pay for one or two and share it across each thing. It's just.
Well, I saw the HBO crackdowns happening later.
The
this
Hulu
month,
one is starting to happen, but there's a weird.
Okay.
Because I borrow that from someone.
Yeah.
But I find what's weird is like, so it'll be like, oh, we're going to send them an email. Okay, fine. So I just text someone and say, hey, they're going to send you an email. Well, I never got the email. But if I close the application and wait a minute and load back in, it's fine. So
it's very
I
weird.
don't know if they even know how to do it properly yet. I don't
think so.
It's a shit show.
I don't think so. The other thing, I think I've told you this before, but like any of these services, including Netflix, if you use it on your phone, it's never going to ask.
Oh no, because it can't really, because it does it where it's like it tries to say that it's going to have to connect to the same network that your thing is, but it can't know that. If I
not when it's a cellular
if I unplug my network and I'm at my house and then plug it back in, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's just, they try to, I think half of it seems like it's just like fear mongering to try to get people like, oh, it's not going to work. There's ways around.
Half of it is. There is. Streaming sucks.
Fucking blows.
I hate it. It's just cable 2.0.
It's worse. It's arguably worse.
It's worse than cable at this point.
It's arguably much worse.
We can do some game recommendations real quick before we kick over to movies. So I'll do mine really quick because it's what I was just talking about. But Hyrule Warriors. I've been in the mood for one of these types of games, so playing through this has definitely filled that void.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to finally bring me mine because I told you like a month ago. It's like this is the one of these fucking Nintendo games I really want.
No, that was the thing. I was like, I want to order it, and then sometimes Woot will do this thing where it's like you can only order one copy of this item. So I ordered yours, and I was like, that's fine, whatever. I'll wait till it pops up next time. and then it happened to pop up the other day.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll order myself.
Well, it was good that they had the second one on there too, because as we've talked about a lot of times, like that's one of those games where it just never fucking ever went on sale.
Ever goes on sale.
So what was it, 45 or 50?
They were both 45.
Yeah, that's totally worth it.
So that's my pick. I've just been in the mood for a Dynasty Warriors type game, but not Dynasty Warriors. So, and I've been wanting to play that Hyrule Warriors again since the Wii U. I never played it on the Switch, so a fun game to go back to on the Switch too. Yeah. How about you, Dan? But you got a
really good one. You and I both like a lot, man. I don't know if you ever played it, but this is Project Cross Zone for the 3DS. Nope. This is an incredibly strange Capcom, but it's also Namco and Sega crossover tactical fighting game. I think is the best way to explain it. You should watch a video on it. It's actually super cool.
I'll go ahead and look it up right now.
Yeah, it's because the thing about it, and like, so this is like the special edition, so it came with some bonus stuff. So it's got like, the soundtrack, which was,
yep.
I don't know if anybody's ever really ever listened to these, but it's cool to have them all. And then it's got this cool, here, I'll show you a poster of all the characters and stuff in it too. This is cool. That came in.
You got Chris and Jill from Resident Evil. Frank West is in the game.
I don't know how well you can see it, but
you can see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I can tell.
Yeah, you've got Tekken people down here. Jin's right there. It's also got so there's also the visual art book. So here's Kite from .hack is in it. That's a fucking crazy pull. Because I don't know how relevant he was at the time. God Eater people, Cosmos from Xenosaga and Antielos. Those are cool things.
Yeah, because this game would have come out mid 2010s. So 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I was at the store for sure. So it had to be 2012, 13, probably.
And then there is a sequel as well.
Yeah, so there's Ulala from
2013 is when it came out.
2013, the first one?
Okay. Yeah, and then they did make a second one. I never really played the second one, but we
both have it. I played
Virtua Fighter.
It's pretty
cool as fuck. And the thing about it is you would think it would just be they just kind of made an excuse to throw all these people together, and it has an actual story about why they're crossing over and where everybody's it's really strange to kind of follow, but it's a cool game. It's very cool.
Very cool game.
I have to keep my eye out on it just in case it ever comes to path with that new store I came to.
You should, because I don't think it's probably that expensive, especially if you get just the game.
It's just probably uncommon to find.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not easy to find, but it's not going to be expensive. Super cool game. We live in 2025. You can emulate the shit out of this game now, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I always wanted them to do, and it probably will never happen, but I always thought it'd be cool if they put it out on Switch.
What if they did a combo pack
of 1 and 2, right?
Cool as fuck. This game is really good.
Oh yeah, $29 for loose and then complete. That's not bad.
For what it is, and it being one of the weirder things out there. I just remember seeing ads for it, probably in Game Informer or whatever, and just be I don't know what the hell this is, but I like all these characters.
Oh,
yeah, Cross Zone 2 is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
There's probably less copies of that.
I see this one on eBay. They're actually selling 1 and 2 as a package.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. Interesting.
You should check it out.
Okay, I'll keep my eye out.
Neat game.
I just recommend Dead Cells. I thought it was, ever since I picked it up this past week, it's been a solid game. Metroidvania. It does piss you off, does make you angry, but not really difficult to kind of get it. You just kind of, once you get further along, it's just the bosses. Of course, the people get a little more pain in the ass and they become a little bit more. But aside from that, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, Dead Cells and it's on. The thing about that game is it's on everything. I think it's still on Game Pass. It's on the premium thing if you have that PlayStation version.
And it's on sale all the time.
The time.
So I mean, you can literally find it.
It's a great Switch game if you want to play it on a handheld. It's just an overall really good one of those types of games. So
this is another thing that we didn't talk about during news. I forgot to bring up.
Throw it up real quick.
It's limited run games. Another banger from them. So
what have they done now?
You remember how they were releasing all those like Yakuza games?
Yeah.
Okay. And their thing about why they're like, we won't release something if it isn't the full game on the disc or whatever, or on the card or whatever. Nah, man, those Yakuza games, version 1.0, fuck it. We just let them out. So, yeah, sorry, they do require a patch to be played. Because remember, the whole thing about them is, like, we're trying to make it so you don't have to connect to the internet to play any of this shit. Like, it's just...
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember the one
there was a cartridge game
had
that
to do it for.
Oh, shit, we had to pull it back and do it again. But, it's just more limited run games of bullshit. And I saw some stuff on the Reddit today, because that's where it came up for me, that, this is my uncle works in Nintendo type thing, but some guy was like, I know somebody who used to work there for a little bit, and before that last CEO guy dipped, there was something about, like, their company philosophy is to cut corners wherever possible. And I thought that's funny, because it certainly seems true, given all the dumb shit they've done.
That's true.
But yeah, and then the best part about that is, so they made those for PS4 and they made them for Xbox games. Yeah, it's all on the disc.
Ridiculous.
Except it's not. Like every dumb thing they do, I firmly believe it.
Did you ever watch that hour and a half documentary I told you about on YouTube about all the dumb shit?
It would make me.
It's insane how much bullshit.
I fucking hate that company to the point where the only way I'll give them money is by buying a game through Amazon that they released. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done buying anything directly from that site. Period.
I get excited now when they're like, "Oh, it's also just gonna be on Amazon or Best Buy or something," because I'll just buy it there. Yeah, Amazon
and Best Buy paid you the money, but I'm paying Amazon the money. So
yeah,
and
if it's something big enough, they're gonna.
Well,
do
and
that
every you and I always go through it. Like once or twice a year, there's always like a game where we're like, "Fuck, they got us."
Castlevania is where they get me.
Slug Tactics, but I bought it through Amazon, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I did the same thing. So that's soon.
That's end of next month.
We can kick over to movies and TV stuff. One thing you and I have both seen, Dan, I'm going to save that for a second.
Okay.
Because we can both talk about it. I'm going to talk about the hot button movie of the week. Hottest movie of the week. And I'm going to not spoil it.
I was going to say, I'm talking about the hottest movie of the week later.
That was hottest movie of last week.
Well, I know. I saw it this week. So.
Fair. I went last night and saw Weapons. Yeah. Which is like one of the most anticipated movies of the year in terms of like horror. Like an immediately intriguing premise. Like these 17 kids get up in the middle of the night, all run out of their house. That's been the question of like, what did that? What caused that? That's the whole premise of the movie. Is these characters getting to it? It's probably, we'll see how the year rounds out, but it is one of the best, if not the best movie I've seen in a theater this year. It is very smartly written. It plays almost like, I guess the easiest way I can describe its story structure, it's like Pulp Fiction. And so it gives you different characters that it follows. Like when the movie starts, the first part of the story, you follow the teacher that was in the classroom and you get part of her story. And then what will happen is there'll be a specific character that's in her story, and then the next one will transition. And what it'll do is it'll come up and say the name. So like her name is Justine. So this part of the movie is about Justine. And then it transitions from her to Josh Brolin's character, which is one of the parents.
Right, so it goes from Silver Surfer to Thanos. Got it.
To Thanos, right? And it keeps going. And like, I will say every character it follows is incredibly well written and interesting. The movie is also like oddly comedic at times. It's not, I'll also say like, it is not overly gory. Like, I feel like it's a movie you could watch, Dan, without really having a problem. Okay. The biggest thing of gore is the very, very end of the movie, but it's one of those things where like, you know what's going to happen, and it's very much a thing that you want to see happen, but it's pretty gory. and you can look away, but you know when it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So you have enough time to be like, oh, I don't need to see that, if that would bother you. But it's not like it's gory, but I don't think it's anything worse than like CSI or Criminal Minds or something like that.
Well, Criminal Minds gets kind of fucked, but yeah.
It gets really fucked. But there are some good like what the fuck moments. And one of my favorite moments in the movie is like a couple of these characters have dream sequences. And Josh Brolin has one. And the entire time it's happening, you are literally saying to yourself, what the fuck is going on? And he wakes up. And literally when he wakes up, you think to yourself, what the fuck? He just yells it out loud. And he goes, what the fuck? And then it just cuts to a different scene. And it's like smartly written like that, where it's like, okay, every character in this movie is well written, but like they're just normal people. They're not heroes. They're not villains. You're just following these characters as the story progresses. And they all kind of have their own weaknesses. Nobody ever does anything that's so stupid, like you'll see in a horror movie. You're like, why is this idiot doing that?
It takes you out of the movie because they make such a dumb decision.
Like, they make decisions that are just very human. Like, yeah, I'd probably do that too if I was in this situation. I cannot like. I don't want to spoil what it is.
Yeah, don't.
It is a kind of thing where it is revealed probably halfway through the movie in a very kind of unusual way, and then it transitions into, okay, you know what the catalyst is for what's happening. Now you want to know how and why this is happening, kind of a thing. So what I like about it more than anything is it is by and far a mystery from the beginning to end, because you're trying to figure out, first it's who did this, why is this happening, and then okay, now I know who did this, why is this happening. And I've seen some people online, because I've watched other reviews and stuff, I've seen some people that have said like, oh, I kind of figured it out. I don't know how you would figure it out in the first like 30 minutes. For me, like, I will tell you, like, when it finally was revealed what's going on, it did take me back, because I wasn't expecting it to go the direction it did. And then I was with it, because it's played straight. It's not played like screwy or goofy or anything like that. It's played very straight. But it's the kind of thing where when they reveal it, it just kind of happens. And it's the kind of thing where like, oh, this is what's going on. Oh, that's really bad. Kind of a thing, like, oh, this is gonna be fucked up. So it's more fucked up than it is gory.
Okay.
So
okay.
But yeah, like there isn't anything in the movie I would say that you couldn't handle, Dan. I mean, if you've seen crime scenes in some of those shows,
yeah, it's weird like for me, like what I can and can't handle sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
there are some good, like, there's probably 2 good jump scares in the movie, and they're both related to the dreams that people are having. But there is, like, they do put things, like, there's a specific connecting thing going on in this movie with those dreams, and then with something that happens that you're like, okay, there's one common thing you keep seeing, and you're like, what is that? And then it finally clicks, like, halfway in the movie, like, okay, that's what's happening here. How the fuck is this happening? Kind of a thing. And the way they weave each story between these characters, it always, like, you'll get a part of the story that's going to happen. So like all of a sudden this other character interacts and you're like, well, how did this character get to this point in the movie? And then they will follow that character and explain it, kind of a thing. Okay. I will say, like, I really, really wish that the trailers for these movies only showed you and gave you that premise of the kids disappear. Because they do show some other things in that trailer that, like, now that I've seen the movie, it's like I knew to expect seeing that image in the movie. So I'm like, okay, I know at some point this is going to happen, but like, how is this going to happen? I wish they didn't show that.
Yeah, but
you could have just sold this movie on just, hey, these kids disappeared. We need to know how the fuck
movies have such a fucking problem. It's like, we better show 40% of the movie in the trailers, or no one's going to come see our movie. Mm-hmm. Every movie does.
It is. But like I said, it's funny. It's funny at times when it needs to be funny, and it also, there are a couple scenes that are kind of horrifying in a, not in a like gory way, but just kind of, that's kind of fucked up kind of thing. Also, like, the theater I saw it in was one of those like they rumble your seats and stuff. And there's a couple really good effective, like, hell yeah, this was worth the money. So For me, it is incredibly strong 9 out of 10.
Nice.
I loved every minute of it, so I highly, highly recommend. And like I said, try to avoid anything about it, and like see it as soon as you can, so you don't spoil it. Like, there's already an IGN article today.
They had that ready yesterday. Like they
did, because they literally said yesterday, we're gonna post the thing on Friday. Like, can you just wait through the weekend, man?
They can't. Like, click.
They can't do it.
Please click.
I was also nice to the theater I went to. We had two ads, and that was it. We had Conjuring and that Leo movie. That was it. I had no other advertisements. Wow. Just the typical, like, I'm so-and-so CEO of this theater chain. Look at these chairs.
I had a whole bunch of random shit before the movie I went, but
I saw AMC. They're actually going to start scaling back the 30 minutes because they got enough flack about it.
It was a lot.
It's a grind. It's a grind.
One of the ones I saw, and then we'll talk about the other thing, but was a Nobody 2 ad where it said, buy your tickets now. It wasn't a trailer. It was a commercial for the movie.
That's dumb. Yeah,
it's like, come on, I'm in the movie. At least show me the fucking trailer. No, it was a commercial.
I'd rather just see the trailer again. Not like, buy your tickets now. The only other thing, like, I didn't really watch any other like major movies, I guess, this last 2 weeks that I need to talk about. It's all older stuff. But the other big, huge thing that happened this week is the 14th or new rebooted season of King of the Hill dropped. I watched it pretty much immediately. I think I would have watched it all that first night, but we were doing stuff. So
two sessions, nights.
Yeah. And I'll say now, like, on the other side of, like, we've had a Frasier reboot, we've had a Roseanne reboot, and they've all been successful to varying degrees with me. It is crazy to me on the other side of that I would tell you King of the Hill is probably the best of those.
Yeah, probably.
Like, because, like, Frasier, like, they waited too long. The actor who played his dad is dead. The actor who played his brother didn't want to be involved with it, so the show kind of suffered for that. I don't need to get into why Roseanne suffered.
Well, I would argue that Roseanne was good, and then it suffered, and then retooling it made it better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it always still lends me to believe, like, well, what would have been like if she did stick around?
I think it was better that she didn't.
Well, they were able
to do so many more things because the show wasn't
they were able
about
to do some real interesting
about
things.
Everyone else.
Well, and it also proved, like, the show
was about
she wasn't the only strength of the show. Yeah. Those other characters
making it about Darlene and, like, having it kind of mimic her a little bit, and, like, the shit she had to put up with was a lot better. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
King of the Hill, like, it's almost like it never went off the air. They just time jumped it 15 years. Like, my only real honest complaint about it is the timeline gets a little goofy at times because
you have to ignore it.
It is supposed to be 15 years, but then Bobby will say, well, I'm 21, but it's like, you were 12 in the original show, so that's not.
But they wanted to keep him and Joseph and Connie young to do different storylines.
Enough. Yeah. It's wild to me how it almost fits even more in 2025 at times. All the stuff, like, everything and I'll say, like, all the jokes and stuff you see in that trailer they put out is the first episode. So after that, you don't really see, you don't even really know any of the other storylines in the rest of the season. No. And they're all well done.
And they're all just like normal King of the Hill storylines that would have happened when they made the show originally. It's just,
I feel like they spend enough time with each of the characters too per episode. We're like, okay, this one's about, Peggy, or this one, they go a little bit farther with Bill in that one episode with the hair cutting and the people he's hanging out with and stuff like that. Like, each character feels like they're given enough time. Like, even John Redcorn,
even last Boomhauer
episode,
has something more to do than
I've watched it. I watched it all once, and I'm rewatching it with my fiance because she wanted to see the new episodes. So, but I just absolutely loved it. I was a 10 out of 10 on it.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I really don't have anything to complain about. Like, it's
the only problems are we talk about Dale's voice, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So you kind of
understand why they did
accept it and you kind of move on. I will say that, like, we didn't talk about this, but, like, obviously they had to replace Khan's voice.
Yeah.
I get it. This guy sounds so little like him that it is like mind breaking.
It's weird.
Like he didn't even try. And
he's only in one episode, really.
But it's
so it doesn't affect it too much. But
it's still odd because you see him talking, you're like, nope, that is not even it's not even
I'm
close.
Pretty sure his wife's the same voice. Okay.
So it was that one broke me just because we're not even gonna try. Okay, then maybe we don't need him.
Wasana-san's voice is different too.
That one,
the father.
Yeah, but that one's not
as bad.
He wasn't as main of a character.
No, but no, Khan's voice is really probably the most noticeable and jarring.
It's just off. And the Dale stuff, like I said, you can get over it just because you knew what happened.
You know that actor died. Right. They had to replace him.
The guy did his best, and it's funny because it's the guy who did Khan doing his voice.
Yeah, that's the funny part, right?
He does as best as he can.
It works.
Fine. You can get past it, but the Khan one, it was just kind of like, well, I'm glad he's not in every episode because that probably would have been bad for me because I hate when shit does that. Like when I tried to watch that new MST reboot. And they completely fucked Crow's voice to the point where it's like, I can't watch this. Because I've watched so much Mystery Science Theater in my life.
Yeah.
That I know his voice in my head. And then like to listen to it on the ooh, man, it was bad. The Khan stuff, I got over it just because he's not in a bunch.
And like I said, it's really only one episode that you see his character and that he has a major,
I was kind of wondering
why,
because you would see Min a couple times. And I'm like, is Khan just not here?
I also like that they wrote in the character that Keith David plays as like the guy that sublet their house.
He's like,
but then he just still hangs out in the alley with them sometimes. And I thought that was great.
It was good to have him around.
Like he fits in, like very well.
Yeah, overall, like it was really good. Like, Bobby having that girlfriend for a couple episodes was pretty good. Like, it's just, everything worked, and it's cool to see Bobby grown up and not as. I don't want to say like
got to get a little over that at times though, because like the very first episode, like he clearly hooks up with the girl, and I'm just like, oh, that's right, he's not 12.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I also want to say like it was good to see him grow up to someone who like had ambition and like had a job. Because like like when you watch the original show, it's always like he's kind of dumb. He's a good kid.
Like, what's this kid gonna do?
Happen in his life? And he runs his restaurant, works his ass off, and is happy with what he's doing. So like it's nice to see like Bobby succeed and have that be storylines that they build on where the show is almost it's about Hank and the family and everything, but it's like a lot of it's about Bobby and like Hank and Bobby come to terms and like all this other stuff. So it was fun to see. I told you as soon as it was done, because I wouldn't say it ends on a cliffhanger, but it does just kind of end.
Oh,
and you're just like, fuck, dude, I want more.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, so Mike Judge did the same thing that he did with Beavis and Butthead, where he signed a deal for 2 seasons. Obviously, Beavis and Butthead very successful. They're going to be launching the 3rd season in a couple weeks here. I feel like this has been very successful, and they'll sign more seasons of it.
Like if I'm Hulu, it's just like, how much do you need?
Exactly, and like I can't imagine it's that expensive of a show to produce. It's not like they're bringing in major names or anything, really.
And not that it's back, and that the animation is probably mostly computer. Like
it is, like that's another thing I've seen people complain. Like it doesn't bother me that the animation looks a little weird, but it just looks modern.
2025. It's what do you want it to look like?
Like
the show's 25 years old. Like it's fine.
Exactly. But like, and like I said, as I've been rewatching the original seasons of it recently, and I realized, because this is probably the 4th or 5th time I've watched through it, like it is a show that's at the same level for me as like Frasier and Roseanne. And because I'm watching those old seasons right now, that also helped me to look at these new episodes and be like, these really do fit like this is season 14. So I'm glad they just called it season 14. They weren't like, it's King of the Hill new,
it's King of the Hill
whatever,
2025, and that's what it would be called. No,
stupid.
It's just it is the new season of King of the Hill.
He's back. I thought it was weird at first when they had announced like he was coming back from working that job in Saudi Arabia, but like it works.
It works so good.
Enough. Yeah, like everything about it just really works. It works really well. I haven't laughed harder than in anything than this year.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where I would laugh, and like they do a lot of great callbacks to old stuff, but it's not like out of place or like or fucking like they're just doing that to do that. Like everything kind of fits. Yeah, it's great. I want more of it. It's probably gonna make me start it over.
Yeah, no, I've had a blast watching because like I'm doing the thing where like I'm rewatching the episodes, and then when I get to one where I'm like, I think my fiance would really like this one, I'll go back and watch it. Like the other day, she asked, I didn't even talk to her about this episode. She's like, I want to see the one where Bobby eats the steak and makes the little vegan girlfriend mad. And I had to go figure out what episode that was. And I thought it was one that was more recent, and it was
That's an early
third season. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that girlfriend is voiced by Sarah Michelle
I remember
Gellar.
that episode. That's one of my favorites.
It's a good one. So, but like I've shown her like obviously the classic ones, like That's My Purse. I don't know. He's probably my favorite one of all time. It's most people's favorite one. So, but we've watched like specific key episodes. I'm like, all right, you kind of need to see this one. So, but it's been fantastic. Easily one of the best things of the year.
It's strange to remember that like at one point in time we had good Simpsons, good King of the Hill, and good Futurama all at the same time.
That was a Sunday night thing.
That was
like ritual.
That was good.
I watched it originally. It was on TV, and then when I was in high school, like early high school days, before I had a TV in my bedroom, I had one of those old 9-inch like TVs with the antenna, like portable TVs. And I would pop that thing out at night and watch King of the Hill every night at 11:30 on Fox. Like every night they would run reruns. And that's how I watched a lot of it like later on this little black and white TV. I would watch it that way. So in like the early 2000s. So, that it's always made me nostalgic for that show when I rewatch it of like, boy, I haven't seen that old 9-inch black and white TV in forever. I don't think we have anymore. I don't think it would work very well anymore today.
I mean, that's one of those like digital converter things for the antenna.
20-ish years ago. So, but you Dan, you saw one of the other big hot releases of the last couple.
So this was a movie I wasn't necessarily like planning on seeing. Because it was like, well, let's see what the reviews and stuff are like. And then all the reviews came out and it was like, it's fine. And I was like, all right. And then my buddy has I told you, he has AMC, like that Stubs thing. So a lot of times he'll just text me like, this is what time we're going. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll show up. So I went and saw Naked Gun, and it's honestly, it's good. The thing I would say is like, if you've ever watched a Naked Gun movie before and you've liked it, this is the same thing, and not in a bad way. Okay. Like it is updated for now, but it is the same dumb fucking shit that a Naked Gun movie is. Like the weird background gags, like just the absolute like absurdity of most scenes. Like you saw that you've seen the bank scene in the commercials.
I've seen a thing where they keep handing him coffee or something.
They running jokes throughout the whole fucking movie.
Okay.
And it gets crazier and funnier as it's like you think it by at some point it's gonna get old, and then they do some dumb version of it, which you're like, okay, it's funny again. That bank scene is literally like the opening of the movie. So it's not like it's kind of what sets up everything else. But it has a lot of great like dumb sight gags, like, and it's dumb. Like they're really dumb. Like there's one where he's talking to the guy who's like the villain of the movie, and then he goes to leave and he walks off this way, and then he just comes out the other side of the screen. And he's standing right next to the guy again, and they both just kind of stand there and like look at each other and then they're like, what? And then he turns and he goes, it's that way. And he turns around and walks away. It's just one.
I do want to.
It's one of those things where like it's so fucking dumb, but it's funny, and like he's good in it. Pamela Anderson is great in it. Holy shit, dude! I won't spoil it just because it's fucking hilarious. But they have this scene where like they go away for the weekend to this like cabin in the woods, and it's like a montage of them like cooking and like going skiing and like playing in the snow, and then they make a snowman.
Yeah.
And then they pull this book off the shelf where it says like spells and incantations on it, and they have a fucking seance on the ground, and the snowman comes to life. And so like they end up. I won't go into more of it, but like that part of the movie, Like the movie's absurd, but this part like push it over the. I was laughing my ass off. I'm still laughing thinking about it now because it gets crazy. And it's just like a weird thing that's like you're like, did that really happen? And then they talk about it later, so yeah, it did happen. Yeah, it's so dumb, and they do a lot of callbacks to like the older ones, and it's definitely worth watching. Like it's really funny when we're able to watch it again when it's out digitally. I'll probably watch it again just because I'm sure there's little tiny things I missed in the background. But God, that snowman scene, dude, holy shit! I'm laughing.
No, I do want.
I'm laughing just thinking about it now because it is. Yeah. It goes off the like for as dumb as it is, it goes off the rails. But it makes the whole thing worth it. And then there's tons of like running gags and it's if you like that kind of. I was talking to my friend as we were leaving. I said, you know what? It's strange because it's 2025 and I feel like comedies really aren't a thing anymore.
They're not,
no. Especially
that's the thing that they
release comedies.
That is the thing that they've advertised this specific movie of like, hey, when's the last time you saw a fucking comedy in the theater? You know, like,
and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's like there's a scene where like. They talk a lot about their body cams. It's in the commercials where he's like, "Oh yeah, chin a dog," and he's like eating them. That scene goes on for far too long, but in a good way because they're watching like the footage of him doing it, and they're just like, he's like interrogating somebody as he's doing it, and the guy's like, he's like, "No, don't eat another chili dog," because he brings another one up, and then he goes and like slumps in the corner, and he's like, "I had 5 more that day," as he like slides down to the floor. It's that kind of like. And it's just
kind of makes you like Austin Powers.
It's that kind of a thing where you're just gonna laugh the whole time because it's fun and it's not meant to be anything other than exactly what it is. So it's definitely worth watching. I'm very. It's funny as hell. So.
Okay, that does it for you.
That's pretty much it.
All right. So I'll go through me. I watched Locked, which was Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins. It's not that good. You don't have to watch it. I saw it on Hulu.
I think it just got put up on Hulu.
It did. And that's why I watched it because I was just like, oh yeah, I know you watched it and you were like, it was all right, but I was like, I still wanted to see it to see what it was about.
Say like the first 20-ish minutes are pretty strong, and then you get to a point where it's like, I don't care anymore.
It just kind of drops off.
Yeah.
It was okay, but not that greatest. I definitely wouldn't rewatch it.
Yeah.
I then watched this. I don't even know if it's a slasher flick. I'm gonna claim it slasher flick. It's called Y2K.
Is it the Rachel Zegler movie?
Yeah,
it's like Maximum Overdrive, but for kids.
Okay. Yeah, it was a movie. It wasn't that great.
Okay.
Then the Amazon just dropped one called The Pickup. It has Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson in it.
Okay.
And Keke Palmer.
Okay.
It was actually entertaining.
Okay.
It's interesting. So Pete plays a very one-dimensional character in every movie he's in. I've never seen him play anything better, which is why I'm kind of interested in seeing that horror movie that he's in to see how he kind of
play against himself.
Yeah. But in this one, I think him and Eddie Murphy play off really well with each other. And the humor is pretty solid. There's a shot because the synopsis is Pete's a new hire for like a security truck driver, and Eddie Murphy is like, the old veteran. He's trying to retire and kind of do that thing. And then of course, Keke Palmer turns out to be the person who's trying to rob the truck because she has like aspirations of doing more stuff. There's a really cool shot in this movie where one of the bad guys is in the back of the truck and him and Eddie Murphy are like fighting, which is actually pretty cool to see Eddie Murphy doing some action. I don't know if he did it for real, but just like him in the movie and whatnot. But he does like a Spartan type kick to this dude out the back of that security van. Yeah. And the whole shot just looks really cool. Like, he like shoves a dye bag in the dude's vest and just straight Spartan kicks him out. And as he's like flying out the back of the van, the dye package just busts, and it's just like a really cool shot. It's on Amazon Prime. It was a fun watch. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like gonna win anything award wise, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And then I watched Clown in the Cornfield. It was a movie. It was okay.
It's fine. Yeah, like I told you, like when I saw it, like it's fine. Yeah. I like that the twist is that it's not really a new clown slasher serial killer.
Yes.
It does have a twist to it, which is like it's fine and it works.
It does.
But it pretty much is one of those, like, it's good at the time you're watching it, but it's incredibly forgettable.
Yeah, so, like, I'm more shocked that they're going to do, they're setting up for 2 and 3, supposedly.
Well, there's 3 books, so they could do one. They could do another one, and I did read it was Shudder's most successful theatrical movie. So
okay.
They probably will do another. Yeah, like.
I mean, if they do another one, that's fine.
The acting in it was fine. Like I didn't feel like any of that detracted from it. It definitely was. It definitely is like a not like super low budget, but a lower budget horror movie.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's enjoyable when you watch it. But like I personally, I probably wouldn't go to the theater to see it, even though I did. But that one scene is what sold me when the guy's head went in the thing. That's what sold me on seeing it. I'm like, all right, that's dumb. Like, I need to see that.
That's very dumb.
It's very dumb, but it's also like for a slasher, I'd say even though it's rated R, it's really a rated R for. There's like one scene where I remember like somebody's head exploding or something, but the rest of it is very PG-13 in terms of violence. But there is that one scene at the end where somebody gets slammed against a wall or something. I remember, and their head just fucking exploded, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." I guess it's not PG-13 anymore. So
not at all. But I mean, it was like you said. It's okay while you're watching it. It's forgettable after it's
incredibly
done,
forgettable, like afterwards. So hopefully they can do something more with. I don't like what was the clown's name. I don't even remember. That's forget the. Friendo. That's
I was literally. I
was gonna say that's right because that guy in the jail's like, you don't fuck with Friendo.
I only know it because I was at that bookstore and I sent you a picture of like Clown in the Cornfield 3 or some shit. I was like, what is this? I'd rather this many of these.
Friendo. Yeah. Okay.
Friendo.
All right. I remember now. Yeah. I don't know. Like it's okay. It's worth a streaming watch is what I would say, but it's not. As far as theater stuff, there's been better.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Well, we can kick over to emails here. First one we have comes to us from Mike from Redacted. Hey guys, was just recommended your podcast by a coworker. I've binged the last year of episodes. Don't know if this has been asked or if you have ever clarified, but what years did y'all work at GameStop? When did you guys get out of the life? Thanks. So, Dan, you worked for GameStop much longer than I did.
So I worked for Game Crazy
Go through yours
from 2002 to 2009 when it shut down. And then as I was helping shut that down, I started working I was actually working at both places at the same time for like a month. And I started at GameStop from 2009 to 2011 when I became an assistant, and then like early 2012 I was a store manager until 2017 when they finally the lease was gone and it was over.
Also important to note, you opened and closed the same Game Crazy
I opened and closed multiple Game Crazy stores. But
like the one that you were at specifically, you opened it and
mine was one of the first ones in the area, and that opened July of 2002. 7/29/02 I remember because I was basically I had my interview like a week before, and I was basically told all right, show up that day, we'll get it all done. I was like, okay, cool. And I told my other job, like, I'm fucking out. And went over there, and we literally, the first day at that place was a big white box truck pulled up. They opened the back, and it was just cardboard boxes full of shit. None of it was organized. I had to learn how to receive stuff, which back in that day, we didn't have scanners.
I was going to say, probably much worse.
We didn't have scanners for years. I would have to type in like PV-NIN- Super Mario Bros. And if you spelled it wrong, it didn't count. And then we actually opened that same day. It was fucking crazy because we were still setting up computers. There was like 15 people there from like other places. So I helped set that store up, and I basically worked there for like the next 2 weeks, I worked every day. Because it was like, he was like, we're just paying overtime. We don't really give a shit because the store has to get up and run.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so I worked there for a long time and became I was an assistant manager a month later on my 18th birthday. They basically hired me to be the assistant. And then in 2004, I became the store manager. And then for about a year, I did that. And then I told my boss, like, I want to go back to school. So I'm kind of like, I was 20. It's like, I don't want to do this right now. And I went to school for a little bit and still worked there part-time and then came back and then was an assistant until the end and then moved over. But yes, but in the meantime, I helped open and close Palatine. I helped open and close Schaumburg. I helped open and close Glendale Heights. The only one, did anybody last longer than us? I try to remember because when we closed in 2009, it was basically like the company was going under. It wasn't us. Because we were inside the Hollywood Video. The Hollywood Video stayed open for years. But it was the Game Crazy, the way that company ran was fucked. But yeah, I closed a bunch of those and then I went over to one GameStop. I worked there for a little bit. So I went to the next one and then I went to my store until the end. So, but all told, it was a little over 15 years.
Damn, dude.
Multiple positions at 2 different companies doing the same fucking stuff.
Yeah, for me, it was... I originally worked a seasonal position. It wasn't supposed to be seasonal, but there was like a discrepancy where I didn't get along with that manager at the end for something, and it just turned into seasonal. I will tell you when we're done.
Okay.
As much as the statutes of limitations have probably ran out. I'll tell you later.
Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a woman.
So I never mind. Then I know.
You probably know who it is. But I worked there from September till December 2006 as a seasonal employee, and then came back in 2013, and then I was there as a key holder from 2013 till 2017. I left a little bit before you, so I mean I left before you even got the word that the store was closing. But So yeah, but I was there for a little over 4 years when I came back. So
yeah, because I hired you back because we met when you were a customer. I remember one of the first times I think I ever met you was you were picking up Lego Batman. I want to say,
yes,
that just stuck in my head because like you were from that point you were like the Batman
probably the
guy.
only person.
But because of Ross, I knew who you were, and like he came in enough, and it was like I needed somebody else. Like I'm just gonna hire Kyle. Like fuck this.
So yeah. I mean, I had other key holder positions at other retail before that, but GameStop was, that was that 4.5 years. So,
once we nailed down for a while when we had our crew kind of nailed down, where it was like me, Brian, you, and Jacob, like the 4 of us as key holders, and then like the GAs and stuff we had. We'd say it all the time, but like that store just kind of fucking ran itself. It was like. Everybody knew what to do. Everybody put stuff away. The store was always clean. I would have to have the daily bitch fest with my boss about numbers and stuff, but I never cared enough to the point where he's like, you need to write these people up. So I'm not going to do that at all. Like, unless I don't like them, in which case that one assistant, I'll do it all day, every fucking day.
We did have one. Yeah, I was going to say, we did have one where we had to make
all
a paper
day,
trail.
every day. Yeah, because I needed it all logged. But like we were there during arguably the good times. Not that there were ever like super good times, but like PS4 launch time was fucking great for that company.
I was gonna say we weren't there during the good times, which should have been like GameCube, PS2 era.
That was my Game Crazy was like the true like good era. Times.
Yeah. But in terms of like the leading into the era that GameStop is in now, like the PS4 Xbox One launch was not a bad era to work at GameStop.
Well, and the important thing is we were out before Chewy took over.
We were out before that happened.
The thing that also completely fucked that company to the ground.
We also watched midnight releases die.
Yeah.
And Black Friday become like not what it was at all, too. That's the other thing we watched.
I mean,
I remember that first Black Friday being just insane, and by that last Black Friday, I think you and I stood there because we opened because we got it went to the point of, for a couple of years we did the thing where like they wanted us to be open from 11 Thursday night all the way through the night, and then somehow finally they understood like you do not need to be open these early hours because nobody's fucking coming here. So then it was like I think you and I had to be there at like 5 a.m. or
there was
6,
a couple of years
something
it was
like
4.
that. But nobody came in that last year.
I remember the first time.
Just you and I stood there.
The first time it was 4 was probably 2010. I remember they changed it to 4 because the problem was they had sent us marketing and everything said 6. And then a couple of days before that, they're like, yeah, it's going to be 4. And we're like, okay, here's the problem. No one knows that. No customers know that at all. So we were there. I was there at 4 o'clock and like nobody fucking came in. And finally around like 5, people started trickling in. And they're like, you guys are open already? It's like, we've been open for an hour, dude. But there were years like probably the first year, we worked together. That midnight was fucking bananas. Like it was
the first Black Friday.
Because we had at the time, our strip mall was pretty much empty. So it was really just kind of like the line went from our door all the way fucking down the building thing. And then when we opened, we had to remember we built the line where like it went in along the long wall, around the back, and then it snaked into the thing. Because there were so many people. And
when did Big Lots leave? They were there for maybe January of 2015.
Sounds about right. It was a couple of years.
They were there for a little bit while we were there. Yeah,
that was great having Big Lots Expo, man. You go over there and get a cheap drink, snack. But and then it was crazy to go from like I never really minded like midnights when they were crazy if we were prepared. And like on a night like that, it would be like you and somebody else stand at the register, don't fucking move. Like don't leave this zone. And then I would work the line and I would go down like I'd work the line before we opened and I would work the line in the store, be like, what do you need? Bang, bang, bang. Put it on the counter. Hey, Kyle, this is for this person.
We always got through the line pretty efficiently.
It would take like an hour. So. And the same thing with midnights. Midnights we were so fucking efficient at a certain point. But
I think
as the PS4 rolled out and like you could buy stuff digitally, midnights started to disappear.
The first one I remember being just an absolute like nobody came to it was Uncharted 4. I remember it was just you and I and like one dude showed up and it was like cool. And it's the kind of thing too where like they would probably want you to stay open a little bit, but it's like now the minute the last person's out the door, we're done.
Rule was always kind of like 5 minutes after the last person leaves.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody rolls up. But like at that point, like if it's after 12 and you're calling, I'm not answering because you're not. Can you stay up? Absolutely not. But yeah, it was crazy to watch those
two things die.
It was stranger for Black Friday to die. Midnights, you kind of like felt like it was happening because
felt like it was going to happen.
Because remember, it used to be midnight no matter what. It was always like it was midnight. But then it was it's 11 because it's midnight on the thing. But then it's 9, so it's actually like 6 because in California it was just like.
Or sometimes they would completely just be like, fuck it, the game's out. Like, remember The Witcher? When they were like, fuck it, it's just out. I got a phone call
that said sell it. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
Let's sell it
There was that one, and then there was one of the Call of Duties where I don't remember which one, but I remember they called, I think, and they called up there just sell it now. Called. And then I remember people calling those people back in. They were waiting outside, like, come sell it now. We had
literally just like pre-rung somebody for it.
Yeah.
And then he called me and he's like, sell it. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, somebody sold it.
Somebody broke
like, something happened and like we can just sell it. I'm like, you're 100% sure I can just give this away now? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So we went and grabbed some and I went outside and I said, if you bought it, come on in. And that was a crazy one because that was at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something really bizarre. And then you get people come in and be like, oh, I'm here for the midnight. It's like, it's happening now, dude. Like, and we didn't have time. Like, here's a pro tip or a little industry secret. We were supposed to call you for pre-orders and stuff. I ain't fucking calling you. Fuck you. You know when your game comes out. Come get it.
Yeah.
They would want us to call 200 people and to remind you that you had a pre-order for Call of Duty. It's like, they know.
That's wild.
I would maybe call the people who had it fully reserved if they hadn't picked it up in a couple days. Like, look, man, come get it. Also, we were always told to like sell your pre-order and give it away. No, absolutely not.
We give those people like a week, and then we would call. Well,
for a long time, games came out on Tuesdays. I don't know about you, but I work a full-time job.
Yeah,
like. Yeah, and especially if you work.
And you would have those people where you call them and be like, "Yeah, I'll be there on Friday," you know, and it's like
that's all we used to tell people. It's like they'd be like, "Well, I can come get it Saturday." Awesome, man! Thanks for telling me. And we had the little note, and I would just write like Saturday next to it.
Yeah.
And then generally we would hold stuff for like a week. By the time next Tuesday rolled around, put a bunch of them out, maybe keep like 3 or 4 in the drawer. But if somebody comes in wanting to buy it, just sell it, and I'll worry about it later.
Yeah, because then we'll get more.
Yeah, like to me, the whole concept of a pre-order was you pre-ordered it. It's yours.
Yeah.
The company refused to believe that. They wanted me to sell your copy that day, if that's what it meant.
Oh, yeah.
If we had no extra copies, I was supposed to sell your copy to somebody else. Fuck off.
Yeah, it was bad.
Horrible.
But
yeah, so we worked there quite a long time. I mean, you'd also did Target electronics department for a while. So like you had
so the crazy thing that happened for me was when I worked the first time, and that would have been 06. So about 20 years ago, when I worked that seasonal job, I would work like Monday, Wednesday, Friday at GameStop. And then I would work Saturday, Sunday at Target in the electronics section selling video games, which was a huge conflict of interest. And I would have people that would come in and they'd be like, don't you work at GameStop? And I'd just fuck with them. Be like, no. And then they'd come over to GameStop and be like, do you see you at Target? No.
I told you, I worked at Game Crazy and GameStop for a month at the same time. So there would be days where I would work at both places. Because I got the GameStop job because my old Game Crazy manager was running that GameStop. And when I told him, like, yeah, Game Crazy's closing, he's like, do you want a job? I said, yeah. And he goes, you can start next week if you want. I said, okay.
Well, and that was the whole reason I did the GameStop thing was I had gone in there and talked to that lady. And she knew fully well that it was a conflict of interest thing. But, like, I just said, like, yeah, my hours at Target aren't really great right now. And it was the kind of thing like, well, I can give you hours during the week. So, and then like at the time that I left amicably, my hours picked up at Target. So like, it wasn't really that big of a deal, but because they had gotten rid of all their seasonal people at that point, then they're like, we really need somebody to be in electronics. So, but yeah, that was the crazy part for me was working in that department, but then working at GameStop across the street.
There'd be people who would be like, didn't I just see you there yesterday? I said, yeah. You work here too? Oh yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Damn. So, but it wasn't as fun. Like obviously, it was a better time the second time I worked there than the first time.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Game Crazy
completely different time.
Far better than GameStop ever was.
I can't.
GameStop wasn't terrible. The Game Crazy was a lot more fun.
It sounds like it was more almost of like. If it had to be a chain, it was a chain, but it felt more like it was a local thing.
The thing about it was they were really when I started there. That was the first time they had expanded east of like Vegas and like Portland.
Yeah.
And like, cause it was movie gallery and it was all up there, but then they bought Hollywood and everything kind of like merged together and all this stuff. So they were like, we're going to open more stores kind of in the east. So it started around here and there was like Iowa and stuff like that. And it was really more so about like, they were just trying to get like the thing up and running. So there weren't crazy like, the rules and stuff weren't as insane. Like they wanted numbers for sure, but it was still like we're still relatively new. The whole point is just trying to get people to come into the store. But like we had so many fucking like better promotions and stuff. And you want to know the best part of that job was for a very long time, and it didn't happen until the end. We didn't give cash for trades until probably 2008 or so. So every time people were like, yeah, what's cash value? 0. We don't. What do you mean? GameStop gives cash for trades. Fantastic. There's one across the street. Like I don't. What do you want from me? We don't do that.
No, that's a.
So yeah, it was really more so about like getting the company launched and like just kind of hanging out. And because we were in Hollywood Video, it was such more of like a relaxed environment because there'd be people renting movies and we were watching movies and we'd fuck around in that store constantly, even with cameras. It was a bad idea, but we did anyway. But yeah, it just wasn't anywhere. So that was also the other like bonus. You were never alone. So I mean, I would work Game Crazy shifts by myself from like open to close some days.
But there'd be somebody
never alone because there was always at least 2 to 3 people in the Hollywood Video working. Sometimes 5 or 6. And sometimes it would just anybody putting games away would just come hang out and we'd fuck around. So that was always nice too because it was. I'm not unlike our GameStop, which was in the middle of fucking nowhere. And sometimes you'd be working by yourself for 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you get to like back to school time.
when you really not going to get
anybody like open it on like a Monday or Tuesday.
Well, we always used to say too, and we can move on after this, but like there was a long time where it's like we probably just shouldn't even be open on Mondays. Yeah, like well, there almost wasn't a point because new releases were Tuesdays, Sundays it was like 11 to 6, and like even then like people weren't really coming in.
I remember the best thing that they ever did, and you're going to know exactly what I'm saying, is there was that one quarter towards the end when I was there where they were like, we're going to change it to you close at 8.
Yeah, and
it was amazing.
Because nobody came into our store from 8 to 9.
That last hour. Yeah.
Like ever.
And that like 3, 4, 5 months we did that was amazing. Yeah, and then they were like, we got to change it back.
It really did. Lame. But like, like 10 to 8 would have been perfect. And also like that cut hours for the store, and like it made so much more sense.
You could have better coverage. You like I want to say like it was different on Sunday too. Like maybe it went to noon to 12 to 6 or something. But like again, you could have more people. You know, like it worked much better. So
and they really should have like done more work to figure it out on like a store by store basis. They knew how many transactions we were doing from 8 to 9.
Oh,
and I want to say before they even did it, they ran a report where it was like we were averaging like 3. It's like 3 for an hour. We're not making enough money for.
We're not making anything
for a closer and a GA and the fucking lights to be on.
Yeah. So it just better.
We got out. I will say, like to go back to the original question, we got out at the right time. Like it was.
We both got out at the right time.
I was given a choice to stay and thought about it for a day, and I was like, I'll take my severance because I got max. I was like, I'll take my severance and I'll leave. And it was the best thing I could have done at the time. Otherwise, man, if you think close that store, I'd fucking still be there. I know myself. I'd still be there. Suffering.
You would have been there during the pandemic, and I couldn't even imagine. Dude,
that would have probably broke me, to be fair. I probably would have been like, no, I'm not doing it. No. Yeah.
Remember the whole thing when they had you print those signs to like go against law enforcement that was telling you to shut your store?
They were essential business because they sold batteries and keyboards.
Like no.
You think I can get on Amazon for $10 keyboards? Fuck.
Next email we have comes to us from Brian from Teterboro. Hopefully I said that right, New Jersey. Howdy 572 crew. With everything getting more expensive these days between streaming platforms, gaming, and so on, where do you guys make your picks for what do you want to keep and what you can do without? Do you guys ever feel like you're being priced out of your own hobby?
All the time.
I mean, we literally just talked about that with streaming stuff. So, like, I'll say personally, and I don't think I mentioned in the streaming thing, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, like, I realized I get like the ad version of Paramount Plus through my Walmart subscription, and I just cut paying the ad-free version of that because I'm like, I'm tired of paying for this service. So that one I did, and then Peacock was the other one where like, for whatever reason, I was paying for, not for me, but for my parents at their house to watch Law and Order without ads. And I finally just told them, I'm like, this is done now. Like, you can deal with some ads. So,
if I didn't have,
or watch it on TV because you still have.
If I didn't have Peacock as a Comcast reward, because remember,
probably wouldn't have it.
Remember, it was free for a long time, and then they took that away, but then gave it back if you used a reward from it. But you had to be a member for a certain amount of time. If I wasn't, there's no way I'd have it. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree. And like the only time a year I really use Peacock other than to watch Law and Order would be Top Chef. That's it. So otherwise I don't watch anything on Peacock. Nope. So as far as this hobby, I will say like it really depends on where prices are going to land with consoles this next time around. So there's been a lot of rumors that the PS6 is actually going to be reasonably priced. And then we know that the Xbox is going to be this probably modular PC thing anyways. So it really depends on where that lands for me. Like I will say this generation we're on now is the first and probably last time that I will ever buy both systems launch day. I don't think I'll ever do that again.
I never bought a Series X. I haven't bought a Switch 2.
Don't need to.
Like, I'm at a point where like I used to buy everything, man, but like I have to be more selective with stuff. We're talking about games are $80 now. I don't know how many games I care about to pay $80 for. Like the Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah, I'm
super interested in that game. We're gonna make it 80. Now I'm super out. Well, now we're gonna make it 70 because we apologize. I still think I'm gonna wait because as someone who worked at a game store for a long time, I know how the sales work. Everything goes on sale all the time.
I told you today earlier, Matt, like that Chronos game comes out first week of September, which I'm very interested in playing that game, but I feel like if I bought that day one, it's going to be like Callisto Protocol over again, where I buy that day one and into, now that game's in the bargain bin for $10 all the time.
For me, I feel like right now it's like, honestly, I utilize Game Pass a lot. Mm-hmm. And if it's not on Game Pass, I'm less likely to look into it because that's how, FBC. I saw it and I thought it looked really cool, but like, playing it with you guys,
paid $40 for
I would have never paid $40 for that. That one game I tried the other day, Fallen Feathers, Wuchang Fallen Feathers or whatever like that. I saw it dropped on Game Pass. I went ahead and installed it. I would never buy that game, but I mean, things are just being priced too much at this point in time, and even right now with the Nintendo price hike, why are you price hiking the original Switch?
Like, why are we price hiking old systems? Because like Microsoft did the same thing. I'm shocked Sony hasn't done it yet, but I don't think they will.
I just don't see the point because everybody has it by now.
In first place, I don't know why they would have to.
Yeah,
what
and I get it.
They have the Pro system for the people who want to spend that much money.
And like, I understand you have tariffs and you have to like kind of that, but it's not like you're shipping brand new systems overseas. You go to Walmart and there are Switches all over the place.
Been there for 6 months.
They're not going anywhere.
But like the thing about tariffs and like this is something I have to deal with my current job now is like the companies that we're getting stuff from are almost like pre-panicking about stuff getting worse. Like
that's what happened.
We pay X amount of dollars on stuff that's already in the States and has been in the States for months. There's no active tariff on the thing you're sending me now, but they're planning for tariffs they're going to have to pay for in the future. And Nintendo, since everything's made by 8-year-olds in Vietnam, the tariffs for them are gonna, if they even happen or if they don't roll back, or the whole thing about the tariff thing is the whole thing's a fucking like scare tactic scam.
It's all a mess.
It's just a bullshit thing that's happening. So these companies have to protect themselves because remember, it's not going to get passed on to consumers. Except, it is, and it's actively happening right now. But Sony, I don't know. Like, I don't know what would they have to gain from increasing the cost.
None of these companies have had anything to gain. Yeah,
but actually, but now you can firmly say like our system costs as much as that Nintendo thing. And the Xbox is more. If we raise ours up, are we going to sell more? No, we're probably going to sell more if we leave it where it is. And we'll make money on the back end by getting people to buy games and Plus and all that other kind of stuff. But, it's just being priced out of stuff. Like, I buy fewer things. I wait for more sales. I go on my PlayStation and I wish list stuff I'm even remotely interested in. I go to Walmart and I look in the case to see what's cheap.
I also have a giant backlog for any of these systems, not just the PlayStation or the Nintendo, but the Xbox as well. But for me, each year as it's gone on, at least this generation, I bought less and less, especially day one. Unless it's something like Death Stranding was a game I was very much looking forward to. Mafia, I had some of that PlayStation money from that PS Stars thing, and it's already a $50 game. So the buy-in there is not crazy. Whereas some of this stuff coming out in September, I'm not going to pay $70 out the gate for Chronos. But my Black Friday, if that's $35, absolutely, I'll probably buy that game. I'm also
happy to pay $50 for Clair Obscur or Gears or really almost anything, because $50 I feel like is a fair price for most things. But when we start hitting $70 and $80, I have to think about am I going to get the value out of that? How long am I going to play that game for? Do I have people to play it with if it's designed to be played like that? If there's extra content in it, am I going to want the extra content because I know myself? It's that's why I haven't bought Or like, have I played the games that come out before it? That's why I haven't bought an Assassin's Creed game in 5 years. I'm 25% of the way through Valhalla. Why would I buy Mirage or Shadows or whatever the fucking next one is? I have no reason to. But if I'm in a store and I see Shadows is $20 for PS5, I'll buy it.
Yeah. I get to it someday.
I'll get to it eventually, and $20 is the price I'm willing to pay. Even if it were to go to some 15 at some point one day, $20 is how much I'm willing to pay for it. I think that's and I think that's a thing I learned from working at the store was like, you gotta kind of prepare yourself for like, what am I willing to pay for things?
Well, and also like just from the past, especially a company like Ubisoft, 2 weeks they put their stuff on sale.
EA was always crazy
every time. EA.
Here's another thing. Like, by talking about like being priced out of stuff. Like, I bought college football last year. Super excited. Played it for like 2 months. Got what I wanted out of it. College football's out this year. I didn't buy that game because it's college football 25 right now. I can go buy that for $10. I'll just wait for 26. I know it's going to go on sale.
Yeah.
That game will be on sale in January for less than half. And then I'll buy it and play it for 2 months. Like,
exactly. Next email we have comes to us from Vince from Manhattan, New York. It feels like it's been an incredibly slow game news cycle for the last month and a real crawl to get to the fall holiday season. Are there any upcoming titles you guys are looking forward to this fall? I'll go first really quick. Final Fantasy Tactics, which is end of September. That new Silent Hill game, Silent Hill F. I think that looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm oddly this is very soon, but I'm oddly very much looking forward to playing through Gears of War.
Yeah, again. I am too. But again, that's because the price.
That's also
the price
$40.
Is correct.
Yeah, it's $40. It's on the disc, and I want to put a PS5 copy of Gears of War on my shelf.
If it was $70 though, I would not.
I would wait.
Yeah, there's no reason
I would wait. To. I feel like there's something in October that I'm looking forward to, but I don't remember. And then, oddly enough, and that was just announced. Octopath Traveler 0.
Yeah, I'm so far behind.
I want to play that.
Like that. I need to.
Yeah, because it's a prequel, I was like, you know what? This is a good place to jump on instead of starting 2. I'll start this 0 game. So
that makes sense.
I'm excited, and that's a $50 game.
Weird.
So, out in December.
So weird. Strange.
But yeah, like my list is not like extremely large for this fall. So you know what? Now I just popped in my head the other one that I would say I'm excited about. I don't think they've dated it yet, but I know it's this fall. Whenever it comes out, I know Dan, you'll play it too. That Cosmic Invasion game.
Oh yeah,
that was
something I'll buy.
That game looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
That I don't think is going to be
$30,
so.
probably $40. Yeah, that's fine.
We will play that. That game looks cool as hell.
That's like Marvel vs. Capcom if it was a brawler. That's what that game is.
Exactly. The game looks awesome. How about you?
So, I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is number one. Like, you put the words Final Fantasy in front of something, I'd fucking buy it.
But that's something that you've wanted for a long time. I've wanted that one
specifically for a long time, and now all that's left on is.
It's all you wanted it to be, though. Yes. Like, you don't want this huge.
I didn't want it blown out. Remake. Whatever. Yeah. Now all that's left on the list is just Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy Remaster.
Yeah,
that has to be coming. Too, it's the only thing left. Everybody keeps talking about this Final Fantasy 9 remake. I'll tell you that while I would happily play that, I don't want it until 7 is done. Why the fuck?
Yeah, I don't.
Why in the fuck would you put that out now in the middle of the other one?
And when you and I think you agree too, but like when you say a 13 trilogy, like just a remaster.
Oh, I don't want
them
else.
to go.
I want
just make it look prettier.
Yeah. All the DLC stuff is in the game.
All the DLC.
It's you put it in and it's just fine. It's an install disc. I don't fucking care.
I only ever played the first one, but I would like to play all 3 of those.
Yeah, they're different. It gets a hell of a lot weirder, and you see what happens when they don't.
But
give
I'd like
Final
to have
Fantasy
that in like a big package.
Amount of time to polish. But yes, it would be awful to me if they did that and it was just 13. No, please don't.
No, do the whole thing and make it one big package.
It one thing. That's an $80 game. Fine, I'll do it.
Call it Lightning's Big Package.
There you go. So that's an obvious one. That's a huge one. Even though people might not believe it, Borderlands 4, just because while I hate those games, They are fun to play with my two buddies who I play Borderlands with. You know, like that's a thing we do a couple nights a week sometimes and just fucking hang out. That is a game where I am buying the crazy version just because I'm gonna want all of the stuff anyway. And we're gonna play through it immediately this time as opposed to 3, because 3 was all about waiting for like the PS5 version, and then it was like blah blah blah, and I didn't care and whatever. The Digimon game for sure. I gotta finish this current
game.
Looks
cool,
but that one looks good. And then the biggest best game of all, Katamari, brand new Katamari game.
When does that come out? It's like end of September.
October.
Okay.
But the thing about that Katamari game, why I'm excited, is because it's a new one. The last couple ones have all been like remixes of stuff, which is fine. I don't care about that. Cool. But I'm excited to play a new one and hopefully get some new levels and new music and fucking hang out and roll around and roll some shit up.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I mean, I would also say the real big answer for me, but it's not this fall, is Requiem.
Oh, yeah.
That's next February, but that'd be the biggest.
I'm trying to think if there's something that's like, Bond is like the other one, but it's like
that's next. I feel like that's probably fall 26, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would say Little Nightmares 3. It's really the only thing it's funny because I was just looking up the prices of it on Amazon because I wanted to buy the collector's edition.
Yeah.
And I told my wife I was going to. It's been like the first collector's edition I've bought since Kingdom Hearts. But now I'm a debate because like Capcom is selling a collector's edition that has one thing different from the Amazon. And it's like,
oh, okay.
Am I really wanting to pay $30 extra?
What is the item?
Yeah,
what's different?
It's a phone or controller holder.
What does it look like?
So it's like one of the little guys, and he's holding it, and he's got like a.
It's like one of those controller.
I know what it is. I'm just trying to think of like what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the only reason I'm thinking about it is because it's like I could use an extra phone holder for my office area.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, $30 is a lot of money for just a phone holder, because Amazon has the right now for $109, and Capcom is selling it for $139.
$139, yeah.
And that's the only difference between the two of them. So it's like
that's a Capcom like store exclusive.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna buy the Amazon one because I mean, all I really care for is like I wanted the statue of the two guys that are in this new game.
Yeah.
And then of course like the steel book and the art book and the music and all that shit. And so I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy the Amazon one. But additionally, like I am interested in the Silent Hill game that's going to drop.
Game looks cool.
I just don't think I'm going to buy it first. Like,
no, you could probably wait.
I think I'm going to wait until maybe like Black Friday, maybe even next year possibly. Because I really want to play through Silent Hill 2 before I start dwindling in anything else. And then, of course, that Marvel game looks dope.
Cosmic Invasion, yeah.
Marvel game.
Token End game. The Tokon Fighting Souls.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's next year.
Yes.
But yeah.
That's a great...
That's next year? So,
too.
I'm looking forward to that if I'm saying next year. And then, of course, Onimushu drops next May. So I'm looking forward to that, too. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely, and that's the other reason why my list isn't that big. A lot of the things that we've seen, and like, I can wait till Black Friday.
Yeah.
So,
well, and this time
I'm not in a rush.
And this time too,
anymore.
like the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 thing comes out. I haven't finished 3, so I'm just gonna wait for 1 and 2 to go cheaper because I was worried a little bit when 3 came out that like there wouldn't be copies of it.
They made a ton of
copies. You could go buy it right now. Okay. So 1 and 2, I can wait. But certain things, and there are some times where like certain things you just kind of have to lock it in. Like I did the tactics through Amazon because that's the only place that has like a special version of it. It's some extra DLC stuff, but it's a different version of the game. And then, I locked in the Digimon and some other stuff. I do want to play Sonic Racing really bad, but
I'm going to wait till Black Friday, but I really want to play that.
Metal Gear is very soon, and as someone who is a big Metal Gear guy, that will be $30 or $40 at some point. No question.
Black Friday. I will say, coming off of Death Stranding 2, I don't want to jump into another Kojima game that fast. So that also works out, but that's also on my Black Friday list, is that Metal Gear Solid remake. So, and then the other one, I would say tentatively, because I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise, but I'm curious to see how it does, would be that new Battlefield.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too. Like, I'm intrigued.
The demo's out this weekend.
Yeah, that beta's been going fucking crazy. That thing had like almost 400,000 users.
But not enough to buy a day.
No.
So
also, that game will not work properly day one.
Now that they have the duos, like I will totally do Elden Ring Night Rain on Black Friday. So
yay!
I almost did it when Woot was doing that $35 deluxe edition like a week ago. I sat on that for a minute and I was like, no, because I know on Black Friday the regular one will be $20, and that's my I'm in price for that. So I do want to play it. I think that's a good time to jump into that. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Casey from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey dudes, question regarding the possible age verification shit. Do you think it actually gets implemented here in the States before GTA 6 comes out? And if so, does it negatively impact sales of the game? It seems wild to have to verify with an ID or face scan just to play a video game. I don't know. I don't know how much of that stuff you've seen.
I've seen quite a bit.
Okay. I don't know if it'll
I think if it does come here, I think it's going to end up being like a state by state thing. I don't think it would be a federal thing. I think it'd be state by state kind of a thing.
Interesting.
What hurts sales? It would have to, because the thing about it is we live in an era now where I could download GTA 6 the second it comes out. And without any kind of age verification, if my parents didn't set up my PlayStation to block that stuff, and I'm 12, I have it. But if my mom has to put her fucking driver's license in to buy this game, it's going to stop some sales. You know, will that hurt the game in the long run? Absolutely not. That game's going to sell.
Yeah.
Even though we talk about it and kids would come into the store that were 13 and it is a shitload of teenage kids play that. The target audience for that game is mid-20s and up, and our age, because we grew up playing GTA 3, we'll say 2 and 1
it's
as well.
But 3. Your average Madden person will buy GTA.
Correct.
That's the one non-sports thing they'll buy.
GTA is like a game everyone buys because it's kind of like the game you have to buy. I don't. It's weird to say it that way, but it kind of is. And demographics for games have changed so much. You never could have predicted a world pre-Skyrim and a world post-Skyrim, the types of people that played that game. And then that happening, which actively launched Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all that shit spawned from the fact that everyone bought Skyrim. And by everyone, I'm talking about the dude I would only ever see to buy Madden bought Skyrim. He would buy, that guy buys 2 games a year now, Madden and Skyrim. So everything has changed so much. And I think GTA is on that list too now, where it's even if you're a casual person who plays Madden and Skyrim, you're probably going to play GTA because your buddies all bought GTA too. That game sells itself because it sells. So age verification stuff, it's, a lot of states are cracking down, or are starting to crack down on stuff like Pornhub and stuff like that. I guess it becomes, do the states see this as a similar quote unquote threat to good Christian values like they did 15 years ago?
I definitely feel like my state's going to be that one. So
yeah, yours is for, you live in the South, so yeah, you're on the list.
Yeehaw.
Kyle and I live in the liberal Midwest, so we're fine.
We live in liberal.
I can play and watch the most degrading shit you've ever heard of, and nobody bats an eye. But overall, it's so maybe the game doesn't sell 200 million copies. Maybe it sells 180. And again, it's not about selling the copies. It's about whoever buys it buys shark cards. But unless PlayStation has me take a picture of my mom's ID and put it in there, I'm not getting stopped. I can see it on the computer,
same.
but not on a PlayStation.
I saw one of the analysts predicting that GTA Online, whenever it launches for this new one, could hit 2 million a day they're making on shark cards.
That seems low, to be fair. Especially the first couple
1 million
weeks
right now.
The first couple weeks of that are going to be crazy.
Yes, it is. It's not going to work.
No.
There's no way it's going to work that first week. I remember what it was like when they launched it on
you
the
could
360.
barely log in to the point where your character would be standing in place inside of 100 other people.
You would try to do that first mission with Lamar,
Crash.
and like he wouldn't even load into the game.
It was a mess.
It was bad. It'll be interesting to see. I still also think like that game gets delayed.
Yeah, I mean we've got another year before that game even.
I feel like it's September.
Smells the shells.
Water.
Yeah.
Because what is it supposed to be right now? May,
the day after.
No, because everything. Because like we joke about it, like it'll get delayed again because it gets delayed. But everything you see coming out from like places that are now, it's like we've heard rumors that there's. Of course there is, dude. It was never.
Of course.
Come on.
No, it never was. Fred from Sandusky, Ohio. Hey guys, outside of gaming, do you guys have any other collection hobbies or collect anything else? I'll go. So for me, I will say, I used to do comic books, and I did it for like, I jumped in at the right time. I jumped in when they did the New 52 reboot of DC, and I ran that entire Batman run with Scott Snyder. And I was very into like getting those monthly. And I think at one point I was up to like reading every one of those Batman comics and like some other stuff I branched out to as well that wasn't even DC stuff. But then when I got back into guitar stuff, it was kind of a thing of I need to pick one of these hobbies. I can't be doing both. Like it just would become too much. And I was getting to the point where like the comic stuff was starting to get stale, like storylines and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of an easy thing where like now if there's something I really want to do comic book wise, I will get like the collected version. Like I have behind me right there, you can see on that amp, that Absolute Batman. I just got that. So I'm going to read that finally. That's probably the first thing in like a couple years where I'd be like, I actually really want to read this. So I waited for that to come out, and that just came out this week. But comics was a big one for a while, but I jumped off and got back into guitar stuff. I did that for a while. 4K Blu-rays, for whatever reason, the last year I've gotten into that. Part of it is just like with all this streaming stuff and like the constant, well, this movie's here, now it's there, now it's
gone.
I like having hard copies of certain things. I have fallen down the hole, and a friend of the show, Eric, is in the same hole sometimes too, where like you fall into this hole where you want these like steelbook versions of movies and stuff, and they'll do these crazy versions. Like Arrow is a big Blu-ray company that does those for like horror movies and stuff. So I'll get into that. Vinyl records, but I wouldn't say I collect vinyl records like some people. It's just artists that I like. I will buy like the new album or whatever that's coming out like this month. The new Deftones album's at the end of the month, so I'll get that. And then the weird and oddest and strangest one that I've gotten into recently, and it's weird. I've been going to where I live. There's a store called Second in Charles, which is a very good bookstore. It's not a very good store for games. It was like maybe 5-6 years ago. It was kind of like half price books, I would say. Now, like the game section of that store, it's trash. Like they don't have anything really good. And like they even go back to retro stuff, but it's all the most common shit you'll ever see, like Super Mario Duck Hunt level stuff, and overpriced. But I've gotten weirdly into collecting fantasy novels. Weirdly. So I have yet to start reading some of them, but I have like, it's funny because my fiance is really into building shelves right now. So she keeps building bookshelves, and then I keep buying fantasy novels or sci-fi, but mostly fantasy. Then I have a horror section too. Like we probably own almost every Stephen King book. I have a lot. There was one summer a couple years ago, I went and bought probably almost every Dean Koontz book. And so I have most of those on a shelf now as well. And so, at some point very soon, I'm gonna start plowing through these books.
Next up are all the R.L. Stine books.
Yeah, like I have some of the Goosebump books. Those are harder to find.
They're getting difficult because I buy them for my son, and it's actually getting harder to find, like used.
Like
Goosebumps.
The ones that we grew up with are getting pretty hard to find, and sometimes more expensive than you would think. So, if I were going to go down that route, though, for me, I almost would want to go down the Fear Street route because I never read those growing up. I only read Goosebumps, and then I moved. The way I worked as a kid was I read a bunch of Goosebumps, really liked that, and I just fucking jumped.
That's exactly what I did.
As a
teenager. To be fair,
I didn't go to like Fear Street, which that was probably what a lot of people did. I just was like, no, I'm going straight to.
I went all Goosebumps, and then it was just like I started just buying Stephen King books and reading those way too early, probably, but.
Oh yeah, and then I realized like maybe a couple years ago of like I should probably get these Dean Koontz books because some of these I've seen movie versions of. I didn't realize that was the author. So
nice.
But yeah, or then like fantasy novels. Like I just got the author I'd say that I've got a lot of, and I will start reading his work is that R.A. Salvatore.
Okay,
guy.
Yeah.
I bought a ton of those. So I don't know, for whatever reason, like that's what I've gravitated towards. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start reading some of this. But every time I go to that store, Second and Charles, like it is ridiculous. Like I can get and walk out and pay like $15 and walk out with a bag of these books. It's not like I'm spending insane amounts of money. So the last time I went, I told you I cleared out this was last weekend. I went through my Blu-ray collection and I was like, all right, I have these 4Ks of these movies now. I don't need to have the Blu-ray version. So I'll just trade them in. And I ended up getting like $50 total credit. Way more than I thought I was going to get because it was only like 8 or 9 movies. And I was like, all right. And I ended up getting a bunch of those fantasy books. And then I got 2 of the Batman graphic novels that we needed because we also have a big collection of those. So between my fiance and I. So, but yeah, that's probably the stuff that I really collect, or like Batman figures, but I'm not really, it's not like a line of them or something. It's what one is cool to me or I have reverence for. So how about you, Dan?
So comics is one, I mean, you and I were into comics at the same time. So like we would go and we'd get a whole bunch of stuff, and I would get Spider-Man and Daredevil, and you would get Batman and whatever. And, but I kind of jumped off of that too. I actually kind of jumped off of that when I had my first kid because it was like I didn't have time. I had to go every week to get new books, and it got to a point where the only thing I was reading was Spider-Man, and you know, and then I went through that like at the time I hated it, like Superior Spider-Man run where like Doc Ock was Spider-Man and it changed the whole fucking thing up, and I grew to like that more as it ended. But yeah, I just kind of got out, and I'm like you, Kyle, where like now I just buy the trades for stuff. Because I kept seeing on IGN, I think it was like, when they were talking about like the new volume of Spider-Man, they were like, he did something fucking terrible and everybody hates him. And I'm like, oh, I know I got to find out what the fuck happened. So then I just waited and I bought the 3 trades. The first I have to go get caught up. But so I bought the first 3 trades because like I love comic books. I still have all of my comic books. But I really need to do is dig them out, sort them out, keep the main ones, and dump the rest. Because like there's so I've read Batman for a while and I liked it, but I don't need to keep those. You know?
No, and the thing though is like even though I have all 52 issues of that Scott Snyder run, we're only now missing 2 of the trades of it, which I need to get. We've been trying to get all
I would
of those.
Keep my Spider-Mans, I'd keep my Daredevils, but do I need my Batmans? No. Do I need my Flashes? No. There's plenty of stuff I bought that I don't need. And maybe I could use those to like get some more Spider-Man books because my collection goes back pretty far. I think the oldest Spider-Man I have is 12. So like I have an old one.
Oh,
I think, and I remember the one time when I had a chance to buy a number 1 with a ripped up cover, and I was like, and I was there, and my wife was with me at the time, and we were both looking at it, and she was like, I don't know. So I called like everybody. I'm like, what do I do? Should I buy a bad version of number 1 just to say I have it? And I ended up not doing it because not that I'll ever own it, but like I don't want a ripped one. So I've kind of petered off on that. The cool thing about that though is my son is very into Spider-Man. So, and he keeps talking about it, and I keep telling him like, you know, Dad has a ton. And like there are you're not going to be able to touch number 12 just yet, but there's plenty of ones I can dig out that you can read through where I've got like subsets and other things, or they did that like Spider-Man crossover he'd probably like. So like it's kind of fun having them now. So maybe I'll get them out and go through them with him. But the other things I really collect, like I'm a big Lego guy. I like to buy the sets and build the sets. I pre-ordered the Game Boy. I actually pre-ordered that too. The Nintendo. The Game Boy is actually a very good price for. Yeah, $60. Yeah, it's a smaller set with like piece count wise, but it's an intricate one. So I think
I want to put on my shelf. The value of it is pretty good.
But like I have the Nintendo, I have the Atari, I have the Daily Bugle, I have lots of older Spider-Man sets. So I really do like Lego. What did I buy? I have the D&D set.
Get that Indiana Jones.
I have all the Indiana Jones ones.
That's older.
I bought that one. I found it like a secondhand Lego shop just because it was like. It was expensive, but it was like, fuck, dude, I'm never going to find this again. In the box sealed. They did like a Sherlock Holmes like book nook thing, which I thought was cool because I do have Sherlock Holmes books, so maybe I could set that whole thing up if we need. I love Lego. I've always loved it, but now it's more about like the sets. My kids play with the bricks. I build the sets. And then my new hobby, which I fucking hate myself, is I bought a lot of the...
I can't do this, but
you shouldn't. Please don't do it.
I won't.
I bought the Final Fantasy Magic cards. I bought a booster box. I bought some collector boosters. I ended up getting another booster box for a good price, but I have not opened it yet just because I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I played Magic the first year it came out because there was a card store in my neighborhood in walking distance. I played it for a couple of years and then got out of it. And so I haven't played it since, but like the Final Fantasy crossover stuff, it hooked me too bad. So I'm into that. And like I bought a binder and I put stuff away. And now the problem is there's Spider-Man ones next month. So the benefit to that is there aren't as many cards in that set. The downside is I want all the fucking Spider-Man cards. So I'm actively making plans to buy a booster box, try to buy some collector boosters. I'm considering I might have a shot at buying a collector booster box, which is $500, but that's the only way you can get the best cards in the set. They're locked in these, and they don't reprint these, or they normally don't reprint these. These are like one shot. And one of the things in it is they're going to start doing the Infinity Stones, and one of them is like the cool looking Infinity Stone. That's probably the chase card for the set. I might have a chance to buy a collector booster box for $500, so I'm sitting on it. But if I buy it, do I open it? I don't know, because like
that's the harder part.
These are investments too. That's like that Final Fantasy booster box. Yeah. Do I just hold on to it and see if it goes up in value, and then just buy what I want singles? But some of those cards are $200. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, like I hate it. That and Warhammer are the two things that I could really easily fall into, and I just stay away.
As much if these sets had released more than 2 months apart. Like if Final Fantasy was this year and Spider-Man was next year, fine. These are 2 months apart. It's just fucking brutal. That's not anywhere near like what Pokemon cards are, or even sports cards now. But the value of this shit and the chasing the cards and all it's a nightmare. It's awful.
It is.
I hate it.
It's wild.
But that's my new vice. If you're out there and you've got doubles of Final Fantasy Magic cards, so do I. Send Kyle an email at the thing and we'll talk about it.
I will say with those Magic the Gathering cards, if you get some from Final Fantasy VIII, let me know because I would like
probably to have doubles of a whole bunch.
If you have doubles, let me know because I'll definitely take them.
One of the best cards I pulled was the Cypher Mythic Foil collector card. That's probably one of the better ones I pulled, but because I only opened 2 collector boosters because those are $40 a fucking piece if you find them cheap.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the shitty store in my neighborhood and pay $75. Hey, how about that guy can go fuck himself? I hate that place. I gotta go to one 30 minutes away to pay actual prices.
That's bananas. So I have stopped, but I was hard into Funko for a while there.
Yeah, me too. I'm out. Thank God.
I recently have purged my collection a lot. I am actually probably going to be jumping back on Whatnot, probably within the next month.
Does that work for you to sell those?
Yeah, okay. It's worked in the past.
If you get back into it, I'm going to box up a whole bunch and mail them to you, and you're going to sell them for me.
Yeah, let me know. I'll definitely give you the money. But I think I'm going to get back on Whatnot probably within the next month and sell off the rest of my collection. That way I can go ahead and just like put it back into other stuff, or like just stuff around the house. Yeah. I will say the one thing that my wife has started getting us into is Lego. The other day we were at Costco and they have that Mario Kart one that just dropped. So we grabbed that.
I saw that at Walmart the other day.
Yeah, so we grabbed that. My son has a Pikachu that once you put him together, there's the little crank and it looks like he's running.
So those are like the Mega Bloks things. Next year is real Lego Pokemon, by the way.
They finally got. I'm gonna have to get them some of that.
One of the best things that they've done is like get Nintendo licensing. I would argue they're not using it the best, but we'll have to see what this Pokemon stuff is. But yes, real Lego Pokemon is next year.
That'd be dope. I will say then, with that, I have the Piranha Plant. I have the Ecto 1. I've bought my wife both Friends sets. And then my son has a Minecraft set.
Okay.
And then I got this one here just recently.
Okay. I've seen that one.
And I thought that was pretty cool. I got that for Father's Day, and it sits by my desk at work. And my goal is to put that together one day. I'm not going to say I collect action figures, but I am going to say that if a set does talk to me, I kind of dive into it to get all the ones that I really want. So, like, I can't buy turtle figures because if I buy one, I have to buy them all.
You have to buy them all, yeah.
So I've postponed buying a lot of turtle figures because of that. However, like I told you guys, that new TMNT Godzilla one comes out in October, and I have to get those 3 that are dropping. I buy wrestling figures, but I only buy the wrestlers that I really want right now. It's funny because at that antique shop I went to where I found those games, they had a bunch of wrestling figures, and I'm thinking of going back next week because they had a William Regal that was still in the box. He's one of my favorites. So I should have pulled the trigger on him when I saw him, but I was like, nah, I don't have anywhere to put him. But then I realized I have a spot right here that is empty, so he might go up here if I can.
There's a cool store around here.
That's really it.
I gotta take Kyle to one day and send you pictures of where it's just a store. It's one of those stores that's just like full of crap. The best way to say it. Hot Wheels and figures, and I brought in a bunch of like random pops and shit that I was just like, fuck it. And the guy was like, oh, I'll give you like, 40 whatever. And I was like, whatever, dude. And then I found like a Ryan Sandberg figure like in a box. And the guy's like, oh, we could just trade. So the guy was pretty cool. I got to take Kyle there one day because
that's what's up.
And like you would love.
Yeah, I know
what
it is. I saw a YouTube video on it. I think. Yeah, barely. And I could tell you, skimming through that, there's a lot of bad.
Yeah, there's one of those stores where like you can only kind of somewhat walk in it, just because of like there's so much stuff. Oh, yeah, but those are the best. It was cool.
Yeah,
I showed you my hell of like this fall. Here's those Batman Returns figures. Here's the fucking penguin that's Gamestop.
Hey, I got fucked because there are 4 Spider-Man characters that come with promo magic cards. Thanks.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm still on the fence on those things, but they have the card in the box, Kyle.
But yeah, I don't really, as far as like set stuff, I don't really go for like full sets of anything when it comes to those figures. It's just
I was very into like collecting these Rangers because I'm a big Power Rangers guy, and this seemed like this was finally going to be the line where they made everybody. And they were doing it piecemeal and all this kind of stuff. Well, guess what? They got halfway through and canceled the fucking line. So they didn't make everybody. So now I fucking hate them. I want them gone. They're trash to me. Like, the whole point was we were supposed to finally get every Ranger. There are still, like, multiple Rangers that are, like, some of my favorites from throughout the years that don't have a figure at all. In any line ever.
It's crazy.
Because all they do is because they killed the sign and lost the license, and they let Playmates make new ones. Guess what? They just made all of the original ones again. Fuck, dude. Stop making Mighty Morphin figures. Stop it. I get that they're the only ones that sell, but, like, I don't care. I'm not going to buy them.
But yeah,
I hate collecting shit.
That kind of covers the stuff outside of games that we collect. So, and I'll say, like, and also for me, it depends on, like, what's maybe more reasonable. Like, retro games right now are pretty unreasonable. So, like, outside of going to we go to that convention every year, and then I try to make one trip to that store in southern part of the state every year, and that's about it. Like, outside of that, like, if I see a good deal on something somewhere, maybe, but I'm not, like, as hard hunting that stuff as I used to be, and that's just because it's expensive. So, Dave from Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Hey guys, do you feel like Nintendo is really dragging their feet with the Switch 2? Between the price hikes on the Switch 1 hardware and accessories, I feel like the Switch 2 is still a barren wasteland that isn't offering enough. For context, I bought a Switch 2 day one, played the hell out of both Mario Kart and the new Donkey Kong, and now I feel like I'm just waiting in the wind here for the next thing. I think a lot of it with the Switch 2 is just they are slow to announce stuff, but I do think that this fall there's got to be at least one more thing outside of Metroid that hasn't been announced that is going to be one of those it's out in a month or 2 months kind of thing. It has to be, yeah. So, because remember, Metroid is not.
And they make it a point to keep saying that over and over and over again.
I think because I also think that whatever their big fall direct, I think will probably be in September. So, like, actual first party stuff, because we've had the third party one and we just had the indie one, which I didn't even put in the news because there really wasn't anything of note from that. So, like, anything major, but we've gotten those showcases out of the way. So I feel like we're due for another showcase that is fall Nintendo. Switch and Switch.
And the other thing is too that, like, the Switch 1 didn't have a banger year. It had Zelda.
Yeah.
It had Zelda and Mario Odyssey
at the end
in
of
the fall.
Year. Like, these things do just take time. I think what's the problem is now that it's 2025, people want stuff even faster, especially since it's all digital, and you made us pay $500 for this, and there doesn't seem to be a reason for the Switch 1.75. You know, like, it'd be one thing if it was a completely different system that had a different format of games and all this other kind of stuff, but it's not. It's the same thing. So I get why the people are frustrated. It's just one of those things where you'll probably get one more game. You'll get Metroid Prime 4, where if you have a Switch 2, that's what you're buying it for. But after that, you're going to be waiting another year.
Probably wait until March for something big, March, April.
When do you think they finally get a Zelda game that's Switch 2 only? 2 years? 3 years?
Oh, I think it's a while for Zelda because we just, like, Tears of the Kingdom wasn't that long ago, and you just got Echoes of Wisdom last fall.
That's true. I forgot about that one.
I think it would be Mario related next, like a new 3D Mario. The only thing that would tell me to maybe hold off on that would be Donkey Kong is kind of a 3D Mario. So, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, this thing launched with Mario Kart, so I don't know.
Mallow and Gino's Greatest Adventure, man.
There you go. Super Mario RPG 2.
Yeah. If you drop that, I'd probably buy a Switch 2.
There you go. Switch 2 exclusive. There you go. You know, I do also keep forgetting that new Pokemon game is out this fall for the Switch. But I think it's Switch 1 game Switch 2. Yeah. It'll play better on the Switch 2, but yeah, it's on both. But I do keep forgetting that is a thing. So, our final email comes to us from Henry from Des Plaines, Illinois. I feel like we get this email a lot, but that's just been the nature of how the industry has been lately. Do any of you feel like this has just been an absolute shit generation? I know you guys get emails like this all the time, but I think it can't be understated just how half-baked this generation has been. I found myself spending most of my time playing my PS4 backlog on PS5 while I wait for something to come out, but there's just been massive disappointments and a lack of titles to get excited about from a first-party perspective. And don't get me started on Xbox. I'm glad I didn't buy one this gen. But man, we are watching the slow and painful death of that division in real time, and it sucks. Hell, Nintendo seems like they are on cruise control. What do you guys all think?
Oh, very much so.
I think you and I, whatever it was a couple weeks ago when Dan was out, and you and I talked about, like, this has been the worst console generation by far. That's not to discredit, like, there have been very good games that have come out, but
yeah,
it has been dwindling returns, and I still go back to, like, we could have waited another year to launch these systems that we have right now.
And it still sucks, like we said before, you know, that they're releasing games still on the prior consoles right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I will say it has slowed down a lot.
For sure.
It's not as bad as it was, like, even 2 years ago, where it was like, you're really going to put Resident Evil 4 Remake on a PS4, and then it ran horribly. Mm-hmm. But that I will say has slowed down. But again, still, like, Death Stranding is the first time I feel like we've scratched what a PS5 can handle in terms of just, like, raw performance. Like, I didn't talk about when we were talking about Death Stranding, but, like, when I first played it, I talked about that whole sequence with, like, the fireworks. There was a boss battle I just did that entirely takes place underwater. And, like, and when I say, like, you're underwater, like, the physics work like you're underwater. Like, it is a spectacular showcase of, like, wow, this really, they put a lot into this, and it's another sequence where it really feels like it's pushing that system a little bit harder than most games do. And also, like I've said before, and I continue to say, like, the Pro still doesn't seem like it's a viable thing to me. So even Death Stranding 2, like, I'm sure I have not actually ran it on a base PS5. I've talked to my buddy who played the entire thing on a base PS5. And as far as comparing with him, I can't say there's, like, a large difference between those versions of that game. That just tells me it's a very well optimized PS5 game. So,
yeah.
But yeah, as far as, like, hardware stuff goes, I think it's been disappointing, and I think we should have waited a year. I think releasing those systems in the middle of the pandemic was stupid.
I just think a big problem with this generation has been, like, a lot of the messaging has been kind of fucked up. Messaging has
been terrible.
Like,
Microsoft
can't figure out what they want to do.
No.
And their biggest mistake was pulling this 2-system bullshit. No, man, there's one. It's a Series X. It's $500. You buy it or you don't.
Yeah.
If they had done that, they wouldn't run into all these problems where these games just don't fucking work in the beginning. And then it takes years. And then it's like, well, we want you to play on your PC anyway. Well, and then, you know, everything's an Xbox if you think about it. Well, we're going to try to buy Call of Duty
on PS5.
Well, it's going to take a couple of years. And it's just like, and then Sony with
now we're going to cancel
right,
this
and
stuff.
Then Sony is just in this thing where it's like, well, we released a system. Here you go. I guess we'll put out a game a year. We'll try that and see what happens. And then eventually they got to a point where it's like, well, you know, it turns out this thing we put out, it's just not that great. What you could do is you could spend $800 to buy the better one. But it turns out that we actually don't know how to use that one yet. So I don't know. It's just,
that's the other thing. Like, they keep talking about, like, we're going to do this big software update for that system, the Pro, sometime in 2026. That's going to, like, unlock more features.
Why
of
wasn't
it
it unlocked from the start? The Mark Cerny robot promised me PSSR or whatever, the USSR, whatever the fuck
he was too busy getting the platinum in Balatro.
Yeah, like
that's why.
Anytime they trot that guy out to talk about specs that nobody fucking understands, and then the console gets released, and you're like, okay. I see. The problem is they also have a precedent where the PS4 Pro is better than the PS4. It's not a question. It just is.
Yeah.
The PS5 Pro, you own one. Is it?
I like
mine were ever since I replaced my launch system because it was old and overheated and died. This new one works like a champ, and I have no problems with what I see on my TV.
I told you my favorite part about the Pro, because I forget about it constantly, and then when I go to install something, I remember, is that it has a 2 terabyte drive.
To be fair, that's the best part of selling point. But
yeah, because every time, I still have almost a terabyte.
But I bought a 2 terabyte SSD one year for like $85.
Yeah,
and did it myself, and I moved it to the new system when the old one died. Like nothing sells me on anything. And then Nintendo on cruise control, a better phrase was never said. All they do is just put out the same. They put out the same thing, dude. It's the same thing, except now they are magnets instead of rails. Wow. But the games are the same. Yes, it looks good, but Nintendo stuff always looks good.
Yeah,
yes, but it's designed to do that.
Yeah,
but now we're falling into, we're going to sell you digital physical games, game key cards, and who even knows what those are? Or are those a thing in a year? Probably not.
Probably not.
We can get Cyberpunk onto one of these things, but we can't get fucking Bravely Default
what was the most
onto
recent
one of them. What? Yeah, it's because Square isn't going to pay to do that. So the whole generation just been kind of a wash. I'll buy a PS6 just because that's the only system I'm buying. I'm gonna have to have.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But
with
again,
you.
even if they come out with an Xbox, which it still seems like they are, who fucking cares?
Who is it for when I can just play all those games on my PC
or
now?
on my PS6? You think they're?
Which realistically is
they're only going to ramp up putting their games on other systems because it's just making them money. That's where all the money is now.
Yep.
And we talk about the reports all the time as it comes out every month. Like, Microsoft is the top publisher on the PlayStation Digital Store. They have 4 to 5 games out of the top 10 are in the top 10 of the digital PlayStation Store. And that's just going to continue. Gears is out at the end of this month. There'll be something else this fall. Not to mention, we haven't even released Call of Duty. Technically speaking, that's a Microsoft game now. So, they're just going to be the top publisher, and that's just where it's at now. So, yeah, I would say it's been the worst console generation, but there's at least been stuff to play. And there have been some diamonds in the rough along the way.
And so it sucks that I'm more excited about things like Clair Obscur than anything Microsoft put out in an entire fucking generation of games. Clair Obscur blew away every single game they released.
Yeah, I mean, even when I look back and I think even for Sony, to not we talked about it the other day because Eric is playing through God of War Ragnarok, and he said the same thing that I said when I was playing through that game is boy, is it just hard to finish this game? Exactly, it's the same experience I had with it. It was incredibly hard to capture my attention, whereas I had no problem with that first one. So. And we talked about Horizon Forbidden West is a good sequel, but it's not a great sequel, and its story falls off the rails. So outside of those, it's weird for me to sit here and say Alan Wake 2 is one of the best games of this console generation. It's a fucking horror game, but it is an amazing game.
One of the best games of the generation was $50 and made by people who live in some old fucking French mansion.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
They made the best Final Fantasy game in a decade.
The composer was found on SoundCloud. It's everything about that game is insane.
I forgot about that.
But we could only dream that Square could put together a game that good. And they just don't. And someone who likes 16 and likes 15 and likes Rebirth.
15 is in my top 5 Final Fantasy games, which is wild.
And likes Rebirth. But we're not even talking those games aren't even close to this game I just played. And yes, they brought those people and had meetings. The meeting should be, here's our checkbook. You write a number in it, and then we'll publish the game you make. That should be the meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make the game, we'll pay for you to make whatever you want. We don't care.
When do you think it is even mentioned, a Final Fantasy 17?
Shit, dude. PS6 will have to have been out for like 2 years.
But like, there's no way in which that gets announced before the last part of Remake is out.
No. That has to be next. Then there's Tactics. Okay. Then the only other conceivable thing they're working on is 17. But who knows what that is?
Yeah, well, I don't know what that would be, because
whatever it is, I'm thinking
it's like 16 didn't set the world on fire.
Whatever it is, I'm thinking it went back to the drawing board. They need to get back to making 17. I think the greatest thing that could have happened for them is that Claire came out and they realized, we can make turn-based games and people will like them. Yes, we will. I don't mind the action-based ones, but I would love to play a turn-based
Final Fantasy again. Yeah, absolutely. That would be nice. Someday. That's going to do it. For emails, as always, send your emails into podcast572@gmail.com. Otherwise, we will be back in another 2 weeks for another edition of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe.